Welcome to Pickleball Paradise. It's day 4 at the U.S. Open, where weather has altered play, but certainly not the party. Bring your best backhand, forehand, and all-around game to these championships. For the pros who haven't played their best, there's still time. Men's Senior Pro and Skill Age is on deck. Who's next to be the life of this party in 2021 at the Open? We're about halfway through Open Week here in beautiful Naples, Florida at the Minto U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. Not too far away from the beach at East Naples Community Park. Once again, Mother Nature having her say, but we are going to be set to play in just a few minutes, and we're thrilled to have you here on Pickleball Channel. Drew Felios, Rusty, the crew is here.
Yeah, everybody, we are so excited to be bringing this to you all week long. We've seen some amazing play, and today, for the rest of the week, we're going to have this amazing team. Drew, thank you for being here all week long. And some of you already know Melissa McCurley of Pickleball Tournaments. It's great to have you here once again. And Chad Edwards is on Pickleball Channel a couple of times early from Peak Performance Pickleball Academy, and you're going to be here all week. These guys are great, and we're excited to bring you guys some more great pickleball.
2021, such an important year for pickleball, and specifically, Melissa, for this event. What has made it so unique so far?
Well, you know, we haven't been here in 2 years, and the excitement around this event was already there. Now it's at another heightened level. We're off to a fantastic start. We have dealt with rain for a couple of days. A 7-hour rain delay yesterday. We're into a 4.5 rain delay today, 4.5 hours. But we did get all of our matches in yesterday. We're going to get all of our matches in today and even carry some over to tomorrow so people can still have their U.S. Open pickleball experience.
Every player, every match has a story. Chad, what themes have you noticed so far in this competition?
We're definitely seeing a lot more aggressive play. I think the ball has a lot to do with it. The X40 definitely plays different than the Dura. So it's all going to come down to who can stay at the line, who can win those fast hand battles, who can be the aggressor and stay in those points. So we're definitely in for something exciting.
Absolutely. I mean, I love the fast interchanges that come with that play, with that ball, and we got a ton of great stuff happening. This tournament is amazing.
Yeah, yesterday play was a little bit abbreviated, but players embraced it. There's the tail of the tape, the field. Over 2,000 players, oldest 91, Melissa, youngest 9, and you are tracking them all.
Tracking them all, and those players will play 4,564 matches over the 7 days here at the U.S. Open.
Mentioned that format from yesterday and how it was a race to 11 with the shortened amount of time to play because of the weather delays, and the way the players responded, Rusty, was classic.
Oh my gosh.
It was an incredible atmosphere here.
It's fantastic, it was, and it's something that's so unique. I mean, look at Joey Farias. We saw him multiple times, and he was exciting to watch, as well as his partner, Ava Wilshire.
Yeah, Wilshire comes up with a big one right here. I love the expression. Watch this. I just did that at the U.S. Open, and this turned out to be one of the big upsets, Melissa, of this great event.
Yeah, absolutely, and this was a short format, so this was a match that only went to 15. We had other matches going to 11. Actually, this one was 11. The gold and the bronze went to 15.
Then it was Catherine Parenteau, Steve Kennedy as well. Parenteau, one of the most popular players in pickleball, against Weinbach and Waters. And Chad, how about Steve Kennedy? He brought his A game.
Steve was on fire yesterday, and Steve hasn't had the showing like he did yesterday, but Steve is a fantastic player, former pro tennis player, and probably one of the best seniors on the tour.
Rusty, how cool is it to see Kennedy shine on the biggest stage in pickleball, and he was propelled into the championship, and he just got better as the day went on.
Absolutely. We thought that was good, and then you come to the gold match.
And definitely with that shortened format, like we were talking about, you can't fall behind. You got to go out. You've got to be aggressive. You get ahead and stay ahead.
And they did stay ahead. 15-10, Kennedy and Parenteau. This is match point. Celebrate.
And excited how Catherine got #2 women's player in the world, and Catherine, how special that must have been for him to play with her.
A tremendous moment here at the Minto U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. Many more of them to come. Here we are just midweek. Lots of pickleball to play. Here here in Naples on Pickleball Channel. Coverage begins next.
No matter how you stay active, you don't want a leg cramp to mess up your day. Highland's Leg Cramps has been America's #1 leg cramp relief solution for over 10 years. The flavorless tablets dissolve quickly onto your tongue. No water needed, no stomach upset. So you can keep going. No matter what you're doing, don't let a leg cramp slow you down. Highland's Leg Cramps, available at your favorite retailer. Stop your cramp, not your day. Claims based on traditional homeopathic practice, not accepted medical evidence, not FDA evaluated.
Match point, it's all up to me. Nothing can get in my way. And when they ask, what are you gonna do next? I'll say, I'm going.
We're going to Margaritaville!
You can go to Margaritaville too. Visit MargaritavilleResorts.com.
It's time to celebrate a return to all things incredible. The competition you can only find at the Minto U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. The blue skies and white sand beaches that restore your soul. The luxurious surroundings and award-winning restaurants that rejuvenate your spirit. So join us for world-class pickleball action and stay for everything else. When it's time for championship pickleball where everyone wins, only paradise will do. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades.
When I step onto the court, I get a burst of adrenaline. That adrenaline makes me focus, and that focus helps me win.
I love looking out and seeing my teammates standing there, supporting me, cheering me on.
People always ask me, what do you want out of a pickleball brand? For me, it's simple. Performance products and support.
Performance is a head game.
It's time to play here in Naples. Minto U.S. Open Pickleball Championships powered by Margaritaville. Thanks again for weathering the storm with us. And we've got a special match here. We're going to join in progress. Jose DeRisi, Scott Crandall. There's Dave Fleming. He along with Scott Fliegelman right now on Zing Zang Championship Court.
Yeah, and I know they're anxious to get back on the court. This game already is in progress. We had to stop just after 10 o'clock, so it's been a 5.5-hour rain delay.
15 seconds.
Chad, how do you overcome that?
We were in the middle of the second game before the rain delay. Time in, 6:02.
So Chad's mic's not on right now, so we're just waiting for that to come on, and we'll get those insights.
Side out.
Scott Fliegelman of Boulder, Colorado. There's Jose DeRisi, the Argentinian.
0-6-1.
Second time in as many days. He's here on center court.
Then he's a veteran pro now. He's
Crandall takes one right in the chest.
And it is very thick and hot and sticky out here.
1-6-1. Second server.
All right, so I see Dave Fleming is off to quite the defensive start here this afternoon. So Chad, we have an opportunity to give us some insights on your part, what we should expect to see for the rest of the game.
Well, definitely, you know, you're going to see probably more third shot drives, looking for a head shot drop, moving forward into it. These guys spend a lot of time out on
2-6-2.
during that rain delay.
Point.
So just like that, 6-3, Fleming and Fliegelman.
3-6-2.
Trying to get back in it here in game two.
Side out.
Yeah, I know, Drew. It's got to be mentally hard for them to come in and be able to take a game in progress that, you know, ended 5.5 hours ago and then be moved out here onto the big center stage on top of that.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, and that ball just got a little bit high from Jose Derisi, and Fliegelman was right there to put it away.
6-3-2.
6-3-2 now. And should have grazed the line. Yep.
Yeah, it looked like it just caught the back of the line right there. Seen a couple of balls float. You know, one of the big things when that ball's floating up above the net is not to get too big.
7-3-2.
There are moments, Melissa, where you watch these players play, and yes, they are seniors, but sometimes they don't move like it. They really move to it. Great athletes.
Great athletes here. You're right. You'd never know that they were seniors, and we've seen a lot of athleticism and defense already from Scott and Dave.
Point.
Nice anticipation. Scott Fliegelman tried to disguise that, but Scott Crandall was there and ready.
Yeah, Scott Crandall was looking for the counter attack right there. If you are going to speed that ball up, you can't expect to win that point when you speed it up. You've got to be looking for that ball to come back.
Oh,
wow.
There it is.
Well played. Around the post, well defended.
Yeah, Scott Fliegelman defended that really, really well. Once you see that ball go out wide, you've got to get back deeper in that court because they're looking to hit that around the post deeper into that back corner.
And match point. That was quick.
Game.
So Crandall and Derisi waste no time taking the opportunity. They win in straight games. One more look at match point. I guess that's the way to do it, Melissa. Do not let your opponents, you have the lead, put them away.
Put them away. They were aggressive there. They felt that win and they took it home.
11-4, 11-3. So Crandall and Derisi advance. We are underway here in Naples. Stay with us.
Okay, now I got a microphone.
Next one is just kind of
yeah, I couldn't hear myself.
When most people hear the name Dick's Sporting Goods,
but I was talking
they don't imagine leaders like us. But not too long ago, driven, persistent, visionary, powerful, wouldn't have brought us to mind either. Together, we're updating the playbook. So it's up to us to design for you, invest in you, and be the change we want to see in sports. It's our job to get more women to the top of their game.
There we go.
Margaritaville. It's not just a state of mind. Now it's a place to live. Introducing Latitude Margaritaville. New homes in 55 and better communities where you can live the Margaritaville lifestyle every day. Find your new home at latitudemargaritaville.com.
Everybody, it's Rusty from Pickleball Channel. In today's Pickleball 411, we're going to bring you the most complete video ever about the non-volley zone rule in the history of the universe. So let's learn and play.
Pickleball 411 is powered by Highlands Leg Cramps, proud supporter of pickleball players everywhere.
On today's Pickleball 411, once again I'm here with top pros Jennifer Lucor and Alex Hamner, who recently you may have seen help us debunk 3 myths about being in the kitchen. But we actually get lots of questions about the actual rule itself. So you guys, what are we going to talk about today?
First, we're going to go over the rule and clarify some definitions.
Then together, we're going to demonstrate some non-volley zone faults in real gameplay situations.
And for this video, remember, the non-volley zone and the kitchen are the exact same thing. So let's break it down. The non-volley zone rule actually has 12 different distinctions, which is part of the reason we're making this video. The complete rule book is downloadable from the USAPA and the IFP. A simple version of the rule has 3 main components.
Number 1, you're not allowed to touch the non-volley zone when volleying.
Number 2, both feet must contact the playing surface outside the non-volley zone before and after you hit a volley.
And number 3, no part of your body or what you're wearing or have touched can contact the non-volley zone in the act of volleying.
Otherwise, it's a fault.
So now, let's get more specific.
Many people think the non-volley zone includes the 3D space or the air above the court, but it's literally just the flat surface of the court itself, which includes the lines all the way to their very edges.
A volley is any time you hit the ball out of the air before it bounces. For example, an overhead, a normal volley, or even hitting the ball right before it bounces on the court.
It's any time you hit the ball before it bounces, and for this rule, it includes the swing, the follow-through, and your body's momentum.
Many of these faults happen really fast at tournaments. There is no instant replay, so be patient with your refs.
And remember, all of this applies only to the person hitting the volley or anything he or she touches.
For example, your partner can be in the kitchen while you volley, as long as you don't touch them.
And now for the fun part.
So let's go through some examples of non-volley zone faults resulting in the loss of a rally.
You can't just run into the non-volley zone and slam a volley, or step on the non-volley zone line as you volley. Whether it's just your toe,
or even your little finger, it's a fault.
If any part of your body touches the non-volley zone surface, including the lines as part of a volley, it's a fault.
To clarify, if a ball bounces high enough in the non-volley zone, it's okay to come in and slam it back over the net, because it bounced. Now, if your paddle touches as you volley, that's a fault. Or, if you drop your paddle because you volley, it's also a fault.
So in fact, if your hat falls in, your sunglasses, your hair scrunchie, your keys, or even your shoe or snack, if anything you touch contacts the non-volley zone because of a volley, it's a fault.
that means if you knock your partner's paddle into the non-volley zone when you volley, it's a fault. Or if you push off your partner who is touching the non-volley zone, it's a fault too. If you're moving toward the non-volley zone and your momentum takes you in, that's a fault. Even if you just step in because of momentum, that's a fault.
If you use your hand to keep your balance and you touch the non-volley zone, that's a fault. If you use your paddle to keep from falling in and it touches the non-volley zone, that's also a fault.
Even if your momentum carries you into the non-volley zone after the ball is dead, it's still a fault.
To clarify, it's okay when returning a ball that bounced if your momentum carries you into the non-volley zone because the ball bounced. And also, it's okay to get help from your partner if they're outside the non-volley zone.
Okay, this one can confuse people. If a player's made contact with the non-volley zone for any reason, they cannot hit a volley until after both feet have made contact completely outside the non-volley zone. Here are some examples.
Jumping up to volley from inside the non-volley zone and then landing outside the non-volley zone is still a fault. If you're outside the non-volley zone, but push off to catch a volley and your foot happens to touch any part of the non-volley zone, it's a fault because both feet didn't make contact outside the non-volley zone before the volley.
Sometimes players try to jump the corner of the non-volley zone to volley. A fault occurs when you step through the kitchen to make a volley, but your second foot doesn't make contact outside the non-volley zone before you touch the ball. To clarify, if you step over the corner of the non-volley zone and neither foot touches it, it's okay to volley because you never touched the non-volley zone. It's also okay to step through the non-volley zone if both feet have contacted the surface outside of the non-volley zone before you hit the volley. And remember, for everything else, the only thing that matters with non-volley zone faults is if a player is volleying.
Who goes in, when and for how long they're in, doesn't matter as long as the ball bounces and they don't hit a volley.
Check out the other video we did about that.
And for play without a referee, any of the players can call a non-volley zone fault. The benefit of the doubt goes to whoever calls the fault.
So let's summarize.
So that's your Pickleball 411 for today. Jennifer and Alex, thank you so much for coming out this week.
Anytime, Rusty.
We really do hope this has been helpful. And now there's only one thing left to do, and that's...
Go play!
If there's something you think Pickleball 411 should cover, we'd love to hear from you. All you have to do is send us an email and tell us your idea. This episode of Pickleball 411 has been brought to you by Highlands Leg Cramps, America's #1 over-the-counter leg cramp medicine. For more information, go to highlands.com.
Go again, until you strike just right, until the ball sings, until the other guy blinks, until the court's clear, and the sun sets, until you see it in your sleep, and wake up swinging. Go again. Till you can't miss, until you can't lose. Go again, and again.
This is what it feels like wearing regular shoes. No all-around support. And this is what it's like wearing Skechers Arch Fit footwear, designed to take great care of everybody's feet. Skechers teamed up with podiatrists using over 20 years of data to create a shoe that provides total foot and arch support for all-day comfort. It's all the comfort and support you need.
We're almost done here, Brett.
It's good to have support. Try Skechers Arch Fit footwear with podiatrist-certified arch support.
Hey, I'm Ben Johns, and I'm here to tell you why the pros prefer the Franklin X40 Pickleball. I really like the durability. It's pretty rare that I crack one of these. I really like the balance in the ball. I really love this ball because of the color. The visibility at any time during the day is always extremely easy to see. So I think it's not just for the players, it's also a great spectator ball.
The 2021 Minto U.S. Open Pickleball Championships, powered by Margaritaville, is sponsored by Minto. Latitude, Margaritaville, and Minto. Change your latitude to the active adult paradise of Latitude Margaritaville. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades, Florida's Paradise Coast. By Margaritaville Hotels and Resorts. Check in and chill out at margaritavilleresorts.com. And Pickleball Central, the Pickleball Superstore.
Well, look at this. New Zing Zang ready-to-drink cocktails. The legendary taste of America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. Crafted with 7 vegetable juices, bold spices, Worcestershire, and vodka. The legendary Zing Zang Margarita. All-natural key lime, grapefruit, 100% blue agave, tequila included. Introducing new Zing Zang ready-to-drink cocktails. Legendary drinks. Ready to enjoy anywhere. Are you ready?
It's time to celebrate a return to all things incredible. The competition you can only find at the Minto U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. The blue skies and white sand beaches that restore your soul. The luxurious surroundings and award-winning restaurants that rejuvenate your spirit. So join us for world-class pickleball action and stay for everything else. When it's time for championship pickleball where everyone wins, only paradise will do. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades.
When most people hear the name Dick's Sporting Goods, they don't imagine leaders like us. But not too long ago, driven, persistent, visionary, powerful wouldn't have brought us to mind either. Together, we're updating the playbook. So it's up to us to design for you, invest in you, and be the change we want to see in sports. It's our job to get more women to the top of their game.
Margaritaville. It's not just a state of mind. Now it's a place to live. Introducing Latitude Margaritaville. New homes in 55 and better communities where you can live the Margaritaville lifestyle every day at latitudemargaritaville.com.
Minto U.S. Open Pickleball Championships powered by Margaritaville here in Naples. One match in our coverage in the books, and now we are awaiting Scott Moore, Rick Woodskin in the near court, Tin Nguyen and Marius Mitrofan right there ready to serve in the far court.
Yeah, and this is the first match of the day for both of these teams. Marius and Tin Nguyen did have a match. It was a forfeit, so it moved them over to play Scott and Rick.
0-0-2.
6 hours later.
Here we go.
Side out.
Obviously, guys, when you play in these tournaments, you got to be ready for anything. So dealing with the delays, it's just part of not getting into your comfort zone, right?
Yeah, and you've got to take the time to get out there and warm up at any chance that you have. You know, whether it's before the rain, after the rain. You'll see people out on wet courts just keeping moving, you know, working on their dinking or anything else like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Point.
And it's probably a lot of the mental preparedness. And some of these players, Scott being one of them, were here very late last night from a 7-hour rain delay playing in that fantastic mixed split age division.
I feel like every time I look at the court, Melissa, Scott Moore is here on Zing Zang Championship Court warming up.
Yeah, he's always here. This is his warm-up court.
Side out.
A couple of missed drops there by Rick. We'll see what the determining factor is here, but usually it's whoever has the fewer unforced errors is going to come through.
Point.
And we do have a stats man here today, don't we?
We do. Mr. Adam Belshi back here behind us.
Thank you, Adam.
1-2-1.
See Wynn going down there. He and Mitrofan, just great spirit. They came to our table before the match began, say, hey guys, just want to let you know we're not on the same level as these guys, but we're certainly going to give it our best.
Well, and we'll be entertained for sure.
And that's what makes these tournaments so great, though. You never know who that opponent is going to be. It could be a great opportunity, Melissa, to get a historic win.
Listen, I am all believer, and it can be anybody's day. So, Chad, if you're coming into a situation where you feel like you're the underdog and overmatched, how do you mentally get into that to know that you can win?
2-1-2.
You've got to just approach it that you're coming out and having fun and not worrying about making mistakes or who it is that you're playing against.
Oh.
Point.
Looked like
It did look
very close.
It did look very close.
A lot of the times that's when you'll play your best pickleball is when you're coming in as the underdog expecting that, you know, you're not going to get much out of this, so we'll just go for everything.
3-1-2.
Nothing to lose.
And of course, Scott Moore,
Side out.
part of that big upset with Arina Terashenko yesterday, Farias and Welsher.
1.
So he's probably thinking a little bit of redemption here today, Melissa.
He probably is.
Second serve.
Just missed the inside out. So you're probably going to see quite a few lobs in this one. The air's thick, the ball's moving slow, so even if they're feeding an overhead,
1-3-2.
it's still hard to put the ball away right now.
Yeah, I thought the wind was blowing, but it's just a fan in the booth. So, but it feels good in here.
The flags aren't moving out there. If we didn't have the fan behind us right now, it's very sticky.
And real quick, you talk about redemption. Scott Moore was in a matchup 13-4
2-3-2.
last night in the mixed split age, and the opponents came back and won 16-14. They were up 13-4.
Wow.
Side out.
Won as many triple crowns as he has, as many championships. No matter
3, 2,
how
1.
up in age you get, you always got that standard, Melissa. You come to win, play to win.
And we've been watching Scott do that for years.
Oh, how about the left-handed?
Yeah, he was right there to put it away.
Yeah, Scott got beat through the middle and the point before when Marius met inside out, but he was he slid across the cup in the middle on that one.
Yeah, and that lob might often work, but if it's unless it's coming across a lefty like that. Oh wow! What a nice inside out, well disguised.
He held that, and the key to an inside out is holding it as long as you can. You can still keep the angle like you're going to go cross court, but if you can hold it and keep it there, and then it's all about changing the hand direction, not so much the paddle. If you just trust the change of hand direction, then that's how you get that inside out.
Side out.
Scott pulled the trigger right there. Not a bad ball to do it, maybe a
2-5-1.
little too deep.
Yeah, and Rick was doing a great job keeping him back too. That was well played by Marius, and then just an error by Scott.
3-5-1.
Marius Mitrofan out of Detroit, Michigan.
Second serve.
And now Rick Woodskin will go back to serve. Rick is a former All-American tennis player.
3-5-2.
Actually, this is Win here serving and Woodskin receiving.
Side out.
I was mentioning Woodskin's career, though, Melissa, really interesting. Played tennis at University of Alabama.
5-3-1.
Former All-American. His brother, Todd, once defeated Jimmy Connors and John McEnroe.
Oh, wow.
Second serve.
So you're saying his brother's better than he is?
Not always, but he always talks about his brother. Very athletic family, one of 8 siblings.
Oh, my. Yeah, Rick is also a tournament director for pickleball, so I have the opportunity to work with him in that capacity. So he is all in when it comes to this game.
3-5-1.
So one thing to notice right there, and Scott and Rick have actually been doing a really good job of it, Tian and Marius are
3-5-2.
hitting good drops, but they're Rick and Scott are creating angles back to them, forcing them to hit a ball when they're either moving or coming across the court. So it makes it more difficult than going directly at somebody when they're making that transition.
Side out.
So Moore and Woodskin 2-point lead with a side out here. Second match of our coverage today. This is
5-3-1.
day number 4.
Point.
And Melissa playing the best 2 out of 3 here.
Yeah, even with the delay, we were able
6-3-1.
to stay in that format.
Point.
Players having a moment. Rick Woodskin now will serve.
7-3-1.
And that ball just got a little bit up on Rick and floated through the middle. Woodskin.
Yeah, but that's where Nguyen did the same thing there. He creates a good angle off of a good drop and opens that hole up in the middle.
And in that case, Mitrofan got away with really a short return.
A lot of the time, it's not necessarily the depth of the return anymore. It's more about the height. So obviously, yes, you want a deep, low return. But even if it's low, you can get away with that shorter return.
Almost like a drop serve return.
Exactly.
Now 10 win to serve out of Edmond, Oklahoma.
Second serve. Four, 7-2.
Oh,
wow.
Nice close.
Yeah, and what a great chemistry that Rick and Woodskin and Moore are showing on the court right now. Really nice switch.
Five, 7-2.
On that last
Side
point
out.
too, Melissa, good job by Wynn and Mitrofan keeping that point alive. Usually whenever Scott Moore goes to that big overhead, it's all over.
It's all over, you're right. Yeah, they're doing a really good job. It's 7-5
7-5-1.
Try and hang around as long as possible.
Second serve.
And both teams doing a great job getting to the net. And Chad, how important is
7-5-2.
Yeah, you definitely, one, don't want to leave your partner up there at the kitchen line while you're back. It keeps them guessing as to where you are, but it also opens up the feet if you're not all the way up there at that kitchen line. So it's definitely very important to get up there, or at least have a good transition up there.
8-5. Side out.
Nguyen puts a lot of spin on his ball, especially on that backhand. We're seeing a lot more slice returns across the game now. Rather than a harder return, it's more of that slice return that's staying down low. It just makes it more difficult to get underneath the ball, and the only way you can do that really is to go spin with spin.
Oh.
So am I seeing what I think I'm seeing? Is Rick Woodskin playing with both hands?
I've seen him do it a couple of times and switch the paddles. He hit one overhead left-handed.
5-8-2.
Oh, I thought he was a lefty.
Ambidextrous. again, and there's that overhead.
Side out.
There it is, just not deep enough.
No, just didn't quite get it deep enough. And in reality, Marius maybe had a better chance if he took a couple of steps back from that line, giving himself some reaction time. He kind of held his ground and didn't have much of a chance on Moore's overhead.
Point.
And they're playing with the Franklin X40, the official pickleball here at the Minto U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. I know
Time out. Receiving team.
I like the ball.
9-5-1. Up
I do
1
too.
minute.
Yeah, this is that X40, Melissa. What makes this ball unique? Chad talked about it in the Open. There you see, looks like your ordinary pickleball, but plays a little bit different, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, it plays, for at least for me, it's not too soft, it's not too hard, it's consistency. You know, you don't see a lot of cracking going on with this. In the heat, it can play a little softer, so it could be a little slower.
I think in reality, any ball here in Naples will play softer. But no, it definitely does play a little bit softer than the Durafast 40. So we teach with the X40 all year round at Peak Performance. And it still allows you to switch between the X40 and the Dura. Now, I will say that after teaching every day with an X40, I go out and hit a Dura. It's about 3 feet long on every ball that I hit. But the durability is definitely there. Typically, we'll go through twice as many Duras in a year as we do as the Franklin, and we're looking about 3,000 to 4,000 balls a year.
Wow, that's a lot. Yeah. So anyhow, you're playing well, regardless.
I've been trying to, hitting it around here with Chad in the booth. Hopefully nobody gets zonked in the head.
Serve.
Too late.
All I can say is Drew still has all these fingernails right now. When I taught him how to play pickleball back in 2018, I ripped his finger off.
You always love to tell that story, Chad. Oh, man.
I'll have to hear more about that one.
5-9-1.
It's one I try to forget.
And Woodskin and Moore are chipping away at taking game one here.
One thing Rick did really well right there is anticipating that ball coming hard from Marius. You've got to, when you're up there at the kitchen line, you have to anticipate that every ball is coming hard, and then you can react to the softer ball. If you're looking for soft, you're going to get beat hard every single time.
Point. Six, 9-2.
That's the fourth time Tien's been on the Nguyen's been on the ground.
He is wiping the floor. Yeah, he's got a great story too. From Vietnam, came to the United States just before the Vietnam War, enrolled at Oklahoma, graduated a Sooner, Boomer Sooner,
7-9-2.
and now works in the Air Force. It's great stories he has, and it's delightful to talk to.
Side out.
That's the thing I love about this game, Chad. Everybody's got a story that led them to this game.
9-7-1.
So many players, so humble in telling it.
I mean, that's the one thing with pickleball. It's inviting, accommodating. It's just missed it. Yeah, it's inviting, it's accommodating. Everybody's out here to have a good time, and once you start playing, you get addicted to it.
And there it is, Moore and Woodskin. 11-7 over Mitrofan and Nguyen. One more look. So game one in the books. Game two coming up in just a moment. Woodskin and Moore out to the great start.
matter how you stay active, you don't want a leg cramp to mess up your day. Highlands Leg Cramps has been America's #1 leg cramp relief solution for over 10 years. The flavorless tablets dissolve quickly onto your tongue. No water needed, no stomach upset. So you can keep going. No matter what you're doing, don't let a leg cramp slow you down. Highlands Leg Cramps. Available at your favorite retailer. Stop your cramp, not your day. Claims based on traditional homeopathic practice, not accepted medical evidence, not FDA evaluated.
Match point. It's all up to me. Nothing can get in my way. And when they ask, what are you gonna do next? I'll say, I'm going.
We're going to Margaritaville!
You can go to Margaritaville too. Visit MargaritavilleResorts.com.
It's time to celebrate a return to all things incredible. The competition you can only find at the Minto U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. The blue skies and white sand beaches that restore your soul. The luxurious surroundings and award-winning restaurants that rejuvenate your spirit. So join us for world-class pickleball action and stay for everything else. When it's time for championship pickleball where everyone wins, only paradise will do. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades.
When I step onto the court, I get a burst of adrenaline. That adrenaline makes me focus, and that focus helps me win.
I love looking out and seeing my teammates standing there, supporting me, cheering me on.
People always ask me, what do you want out of a pickleball brand? For me, it's simple. Performance products and support.
Performance is a head game.
Look at the inside here, inside the tents at the Minto U.S. Open Pickleball Championships, powered by Margaritaville. The vendors, just incredible. You come to this great event, let's just take a stroll. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's exciting to go through there. There's a lot of products on display in one location for people to be able to scoop up and take home. Souvenirs as well.
Time in, 002.
My wallet's certainly a little bit lighter since coming here.
Mine too.
Saw some of the numbers too from game one.
Yeah, and they look to be pretty close in unforced errors. The three perhaps making the difference.
Yeah, that and a couple of winners. You know, obviously
102.
3-point difference. So those three unforced errors.
Critical in a game to 11.
Well, great to have everybody with us on Pickleball Channel today. Wherever you're watching, however you're watching. Drew Felios, Melissa McCurley, Chad Edwards, of course, Rusty from Pickleball Channel chiming in.
202.
He'll be here later on as well.
Point.
It's 2 unforced errors in a row right there from Nguyen and Mitrofan.
302. Point.
They did a good job of staying in the point. Scott came across with that big close, and Myers defended it.
Side out.
So a tremendous start here from Warren Woodskin in game 2. Got to give some kudos to Rusty. Everything he does, even helped dry the court to get this match started.
041.
Just unbelievable.
The man just does it all.
That's right. I mean, I wouldn't put it out of his reach to maybe go up and see those blue tarps.
Get up
Melissa,
on the
there he is, just a few minutes ago.
042.
Hey, he does it all.
I know, and he got us out here faster playing this afternoon, so good for Rusty. Thank you.
Side out. .401.
Nicely done by Wynn.
Second serve.
Yeah, excellent ball to the feet while Rick was moving forward. Woodskin was moving forward.
402.
Wow,
Oh.
that's quite the exchange.
Line out.
Short, compact swings. That's the key to staying in those fast hands.
0-4-1.
Those fast exchanges.
Second serve. Zero, 4-2.
Oh.
Oh, look at what a roll, huh?
Point.
Got lucky with the roll, and then Scott tried to go around the post and just nicked it.
1-4-2.
On the board here, game 2. And oh, he's going to want that one back.
Side out.
Yeah, that's definitely one at list level for sure. Those are freebies. You just can't give those away.
Yeah, honestly, with Nguyen right there, he kind of had a hesitation before he started his serve. It's almost where you want to step away from the line, regain yourself, and start the serve motion again.
Oh.
Oh. He's definitely an aggressive player.
He is, and he's animated, and he's having fun.
5-1-1.
You just described pickleball.
Second serve.
Scott had to reach for that one just a little too much, pushing it just long.
Yeah, we have a tendency to let the ball get behind us, behind the body when we're reaching like that. It makes it very difficult to keep it down in the court. Same thing there with Woodskin. He rushed it, the ball got too close to the body, and then that ball flies on you. One thing to notice is on both sides here, with the transition that they're going from the baseline to the kitchen.
1-5-1.
A lot of the times when people start pickleball, it's like, hey, get from the baseline to the kitchen as fast as you can. It's more third shot, fifth shot, seventh shot, ninth shot. And it's exactly what it is. It's a transition. It's not a race to get to the kitchen. You don't win the point just by getting there.
Oh. Love that left-handed smash.
Second serve
from Woodskin.
And I think about that, Chad, playing with purpose is what I think about that, what you were just describing, playing with purpose, making the right shot to get where you're supposed to be on the court.
1-5-2.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you want your movement to be deliberate. It's not running all over the court. And that's what a lot of tennis players have difficulty with coming to pickleball, is they're so used to covering such a large court, or their feet always moving.
5-1-1.
You almost have to tell tennis players to stop moving or not move their feet as much.
A little long.
Point.
6-1 now in favor of Moore and Woodskin.
6-1-1.
Men's senior pro doubles. This is game 2. Of course,
point.
It's incredible to listen to the stories, and most of these players still relatively new to this
Timeout.
great game
Receiving team.
of pickleball.
7-1-1. Up to 1 minute.
7-1 here in game 2. Step aside, come back to Zing Zang Championship Court in a moment. The 2021 Minto U.S. Open Pickleball Championships, powered by Margaritaville, is sponsored by Dick's. Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's Sporting Goods. By Zing Zang. Zing Zang, America's favorite Bloody Mary mix. By Franklin and Franklin X40, the official ball of the U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. Skechers. Skechers Arch Fit Footwear, featuring podiatrist certified arch support. And by Highlands. Highlands leg cramps. Stop your cramp, not your game. Just amazing sponsors here at the Minto U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. 7-1, Moore and Woodskin. was saying, Melissa, these players, so many of them have gotten into the game just in the past 4 or 5 years, and so many people watching today, this great game, wondering, thinking, should I do this? Can I do this? How do I do this?
Oh, sure, they can certainly do this, and that's one thing about pickleball. It's one of those things. It's easy to pick up and learn, and you know, you got the will. You know, maybe you don't get to the pro level, but certainly you can have the opportunity to advance.
Any words of advice, Chad, for those people that are kind of on the fence and about to get into this great game?
Jump into it, but be prepared that it's going to take over your life. No, absolutely. I think one of the things with pickleball is it's really, really fast to pick up, and you can start having fun early on. You can start constructing points, you can play, so you can get everything out there. So it's definitely easier for new people to pick up, and it's challenging enough for people that are switching over sports.
Oh, Metro fan.
Right
for
foot.
the Ernie.
Point.
And Marius just caught the line as he was reaching in.
Timeout, receiving team. 10-1-1. To 1 minute.
So 10-1 and a timeout. Mitrofan and Nguyen trying to extend this match. The 2021 Minto U.S. Open Pickleball Championships, powered by Margaritaville, is sponsored by Minto. Latitude, Margaritaville, and Minto. Change your latitude to the active adult paradise of Latitude Margaritaville. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades, Florida's Paradise Coast. By Margaritaville Hotels and Resorts. Check in and chill out at margaritavilleresorts.com. And Pickleball Central, the Pickleball Superstore. So excited to have you with us on Pickleball Channel throughout this week. Moore and Woodskin right now, Zing Zang Championship Court with Mitrofan and Nguyen. That's Tim Nguyen. Marius Mitrofan, Scott Moore, of course, the familiar name, Rick Woodskin, out of Indianapolis, serving for the win. Oh, that big Scott Moore smash ends this men's senior pro doubles 11-7, 11-1. Good effort, Melissa, by Nguyen and Mitrofan, but just a little too much skill on the other side.
Yeah, too much. They went out and did the best that they could. You know, played smart, certainly did what they could, made a close game in game one, and then just game two, they were just overmatched.
Chad, how good can this team of Moore and Woodskin be?
I think they're going to be a tough team to beat. If they cut out a couple of the unforced errors, which they had, you know, in the first game, I think first match of the day, it's tough to get out and a rain delay. But yeah, they came together in the second game. There were a lot more aggressive, moved the ball around. So yeah, they're going to be a tough team to beat.
Meanwhile, light breeze coming through now, Zing Zang Championship Court, and Drew Felios, Melissa McCurley, Chad Edwards with you. Melissa, things have proceeded pretty smoothly around the complex, and how you and your staff keep track of it through the elements like yesterday and today is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, we got 2,190 players playing in the U.S. Open. We have dealt with rain for the next last couple of days. 7 hours yesterday, 5 hours today, and delays. But despite what everybody needs to know, the teams have pulled together, volunteers have pulled together, and we have been able to still get all matches on court and played despite that delay. It's been quite an amazing effort.
And before we turn the page, a look at the final numbers. What numbers really stand out to you, Chad, when you look at that last match?
The unforced errors, obviously. and the difference between a forced error and an unforced error. The forced error is your opponent's putting that pressure on you. They attack a ball that's high. That unforced error is hitting a third shot drop into the net, dropping a dink into the net. Those are really going to come back and make the difference in a lot of these matches. If we can cut, it's not so much the winners are great, but if you can cut down the unforced errors, it definitely makes a difference.
So when we come back, more pickleball from the Minto US Open Pickleball Championships, powered by Margaritaville. You're watching Pickleball Channel. Stay tuned.
When most people hear the name Dick's Sporting Goods, they don't imagine leaders like us. But not too long ago, driven, persistent, visionary, powerful wouldn't have brought us to mind either. Together, we're updating the playbook. So it's up to us to design for you, invest in you, and be the change we want to see in sports. It's our job to get more women to the top of their game.
There we go.
Margaritaville. It's not just a state of mind. Now it's a place to live. Introducing Latitude Margaritaville. New homes in 55 and better communities where you can live the Margaritaville lifestyle every day. Find your new home at latitudemargaritaville.com.
The 2021 Minto US Open Pickleball Championships, powered by Margaritaville, is sponsored by Minto. Latitude, Margaritaville, and Minto. Change your latitude to the active adult paradise of Latitude Margaritaville. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades, Florida's Paradise Coast. By Margaritaville Hotels and Resorts. Check in and chill out at margaritavilleresorts.com. And Pickleball Central, the Pickleball Superstore.
Hi, welcome to a new episode of Pickleball 411. I'm Rusty, and this show from Pickleball Channel is all about providing helpful information about the sport of pickleball. This week, we're going to give you our first ever in-depth breakdown of the shots and strategy of an amazing point at the Minto US Open Pickleball Championships. So, let's learn and play.
Pickleball 411 is powered by Highlands Leg Cramps, proud supporter of pickleball players everywhere.
At the Minto US Open Pickleball Championships, a unique point occurred during the mixed 30-plus match. It had almost every element that you could have in a pickleball game, from lobs to volleys to dinks to overheads, even switching of sides. And it's been viewed over 35,000 times on Facebook already. So, with the help of one of the players from the match, top medal winner and veteran of the game, Alex Hamner, we're going to break down and analyze the points so that you can gain some insight and improve your game.
Hey there, it's Alex. This was a great match between me and my partner, Wes Gabrielson, and two awesome players, Chris Miller and Sarah Ansberry. Now before we analyze the point, let's watch it through once.
2, 2, 1.
Okay, let's break the point down and talk about a few things we can learn from it. The rally starts out in a pretty normal fashion, except check Wes out. He serves right-handed, but when he comes across for the poach 3 shots later, he hits left-handed. Being ambidextrous is a rare skill and can certainly pay off in pickleball. Now, on that poach, you can see that Wes didn't get his volley down to Sarah's feet as he would have liked. This allowed Sarah to use her good reflexes, get her paddle on the ball, and put up a deep cross-court lob, causing me to switch sides with Wes to run it down, and it puts us on the defense. But watch this great offensive lob Wes hits next. This is such a good shot at this moment, because we've been pushed into the back of the court, and Chris and Sarah seem to have full control at the net. But this control changes to our favor when Wes's lob lands deep, making Chris and Sarah both run back. Notice how they both move together, and they're talking about who's going to hit the ball. But also notice how Wes and I move together to the kitchen line so that now we are in the position of control. So, as you can see, an effective lob can give you the chance to get to the net and take control of the point. Chris and Sarah have been pushed off the non-volley zone line and are working their way back to the net. Then a volley lands at Chris's feet, and he wrangles a nice defensive dink that resets the point, meaning that neither team is controlling the point at this moment. And so begins a little dink session. Because Wes had hit that great lob earlier, I thought, hey, I'll give it a shot too and back them up again. But watch how I only use my arm to hit it. I don't use my legs at all. And the result is that my lob, while not awful, it's shorter and lower than I would have liked, and Sarah can jump and hit an overhead. This starts another flurry of volleys. Eventually, when Chris pops it up, Wes smacks a two-handed backhand right down the middle to win the point. Here's the end in slow motion. So much fun in that one point, and so much to learn from it.
So that's your Pickleball 411 for today. Thanks to Alex Hamner for her commentary on this fascinating point, and thanks to the other players from the match as well. We really do hope that this has been helpful, and now there's only one thing left to do, and that's go play.
If there's something you think Pickleball 411 should cover, we'd love to hear from you. All you have to do is send us an email and tell us your idea. This episode of Pickleball 411 has been brought to you by Highlands Leg Cramps, America's #1 over-the-counter leg cramp medicine. For more information, go to highlands.com.
Go again, until you strike just right, until the ball sings, until the other guy blinks, until the court's clear, and the sun sets, until you see it in your sleep, and wake up swinging. Go again. Till you can't miss, until you can't lose. Go again, and again.
This is what it feels like wearing regular shoes. No all-around support. And this is what it's like wearing Skechers Arch Fit footwear, designed to take great care of everybody's feet. Skechers teamed up with podiatrists using over 20 years of data to create a shoe that provides total foot and arch support for all-day comfort. It's all the comfort and support you need.
We're almost done here, Brooke.
it's good to have support. Try Skechers Arch Fit footwear with podiatrist-certified arch support.
Hey, I'm Ben Johns, and I'm here to tell you why the pros prefer the Franklin X40 Pickleball. I really like the durability. It's pretty rare that I crack one of these. I really like the balance of the ball. I really love this ball because of the color. The visibility at any time during the day is always extremely easy to see. So I think it's not just for the players, it's also a great spectator.
The 2021 Minto U.S. Open Pickleball Championships, powered by Margaritaville, is sponsored by Gamma. Gamma Pickleball, the official grip of the U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. DecoTurf. DecoTurf, the official pickleball court surface of the U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. By I Love Pickles. ILovePickles.org, a place to celebrate all things pickled. And by Franklin, the official bag of the U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. Welcome back here to Naples. Not had a chance yet to get out to the beach. Hopefully can enjoy a quick moment there, but you know, Melissa and Chad, all the action is here at East Naples Community Park as Mike Toulson and Mike Stewart get set to take on Dave Weinbach and Chris Miller.
Yeah, Chad and I were just talking about the two Mikes, Toulson and Stewart, having their hands full in this particular match with, you know, multiple-time U.S. Open and national champions, Chris Miller and Dave Weinbach.
Yeah, absolutely. Weinbach and Miller have been around pickleball for a long time. Definitely the more experienced as far as playing in the larger tournaments.
Underway. You know what I love, Melissa, about senior pro doubles and any doubles? Color coordination.
Oh, yeah, we've got double blues on the side.
Second serve.
That's a rare miss at that particular shot for Dave Weinbach. He's got some of the quickest hands in the game.
I was going to say Dave's anticipation is unbelievable, but what actually beat him right there was that the ball was slower than he is used to receiving.
Yeah, Dave, one of the few senior pros that also plays in the non-senior pro divisions as well.
Got the table tennis background, once trained for the Olympics in that sport, and it is translated just beautifully into pickleball.
Miller was wishing that would stay in, but just stayed wide.
Chris Miller had a great run with Dekel Bar earlier this week.
That in the popular men's split age division, where one player over 50 was playing with another player under 50, and I've gotten all kinds of feedback from players saying that's their favorite event so far this week.
Yeah, it was definitely fun to watch.
Yeah, the crowds were huge around watching those matches this week, everywhere around the park. 60 courts here.
So do you think, Melissa, that's an event that returns here to the Open and becomes an annual tradition?
Absolutely. I see that being an annual tradition for sure, and just growing and growing. We had 41 teams playing in the mixed split age yesterday.
Wow.
Nice.
Second serve.
Stewart disguised that very well, actually. Again, making it look like he was going to dink, he was going to go slow. And then just feeding that with a nice roll through the middle.
Yes, you're the correct server. I'll recall the score. 2-0-2.
So Mike Stewart tried to anticipate a ball that just didn't happen. He thought he might be coming through the middle, and Chris just went behind him. Chris Miller.
Chris gave him one right back. Same thing. Patience.
Point.
Push that one just a little too wide.
Take a look at Mike Stewart right there out of Port St. Lucie, the spring training home of the New York Mets.
Point.
And Stewart, as Weinbach smashes there, Mike Stewart talks a lot about paddle up pickleball. PGA Verano 27 courts, great facility.
Yeah, I've run an event at the PGA Verano facility. I have the opportunity to do so again this year over in beautiful Port St. Lucie.
051. Second serve.
Well, I guess we got a little animation out of Mike Toulson.
Yeah, he got a, I don't say so much as frustration, but maybe trying to play it off a little bit about what he felt inside.
Side out.
Yeah, and the last several points here, they just haven't even been able to take 2 steps off the back line. And and there was that anticipation you're talking about, Chad.
Yeah, Dave anticipated both of those inside outs from Mike right there.
Point.
One thing with the anticipation, it's not just anticipating the ball's coming to you, it's reading the paddle, reading the body, reading the closeness of the ball to your opponent's body. There's multiple things that go into the anticipation of where that ball's going.
Just watch Weinbach too, even when he's not striking the ball, all kinds of movements. When you're on the other side, Chad, is it tough to keep the concentration when there's all that movement?
701.
That's a little bit of Dave's game style as well, is if you can distract somebody with some movement, just catch it out of the corner. Obviously, it takes your focus away from what you're trying to do. But yeah, Dave has always been that jackrabbit on the court where he's moving around in the kitchen line a lot, and he also baits people into attacking him and speeding it up into his game style. He wants you to attack him.
And they're definitely attacking Mike Toulson there, both Chris Miller and Dave Weinbach, coming right at him hard.
Chad, would you recommend to all players to get low, especially when you're on the defensive? Because not all players seem to like to do that.
100%. And I was actually going to talk about Toulson's got some height to him. Height is a benefit because you can reach more balls, but height can also be a detriment as far as you're not able to get lower. You're not able to get into those positionings. So you're a larger target, and you've got longer limbs that are hard to move around. So it's definitely staying in a body position, staying in an athletic position where your chest and your chin are over your toes more. It keeps the paddle out in front.
092.
Makes that anticipation a little bit easier compared to standing up tall and allowing that ball to get close to your body.
Great shot, got the corner that time as Mike Stewart rips one.
192.
First point on the board for Stewart and Toulson.
Side out.
Now side out back to Weinbach and Miller. And they'll look to close out this first game.
Point.
Stewart tried for a little too much there.
10,
Let that ball get behind him. Makes it very difficult to get that ball up and over the net.
Second serve. 10-1-2. Point. Game.
And that's going to do it for game 1.
Minutes.
Yeah, 11-1. You know, this is going to be a tough matchup playing against these two guys here who we very well could see in the finals.
Yeah, I wouldn't go against them as far as saying that they've got a really good shot at making it to the finals. Like we said before, they're definitely experienced. You get them on fire, look out.
Weinbach and Miller, 11-1, game 2, coming up right after this.
Well, look at this. New Zing Zang ready-to-drink cocktails. The legendary taste of America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. Crafted with 7 vegetable juices, bold spices, Worcestershire, and vodka. The legendary Zing Zang Margarita. All-natural key lime, grapefruit, 100% blue agave, tequila included. Introducing new Zing Zang ready-to-drink cocktails. Legendary drinks. Ready to enjoy anywhere. Are you ready?
It's time to celebrate a return to all things incredible. The competition you can only find at the Minto US Open Pickleball Championships. The blue skies and white sand beaches that restore your soul. The luxurious surroundings and award-winning restaurants that rejuvenate your spirit. So join us for world-class pickleball action and stay for everything else. When it's time for championship pickleball where everyone wins, only paradise will do. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades.
When most people hear the name Dick's Sporting Goods, they don't imagine leaders like us. But not too long ago, driven, persistent, visionary, powerful wouldn't have brought us to mind either. Together, we're updating the playbook. So it's up to us to design for you, invest in you, and be the change we want to see in sports. It's our job to get more women to the top of their game.
Margaritaville. It's not just a state of mind. Now it's a place to live. Introducing Latitude Margaritaville. New homes in 55 and better communities where you can live the Margaritaville lifestyle every day. Find your new home at latitudemargaritaville.com.
Sings.
Beautiful Naples, west coast of Florida. Humidity has been up there throughout the week, but it's cooling off just a little bit here midweek. On this Wednesday, we've weathered some delays here today, but play has resumed as Weinbach and Mills take game 1. They pretty much dominated that first session.
Yeah, they did, and the stats can really show that with 11 unforced errors by Mike Toulson and Mike Stewart, and just Chris Miller and Dave Weinbach just really overpowered them at the end.
Yeah, definitely, and I think you'll probably see, if they can, Weinbach and Mills being even more aggressive.
It was like right on cue, like you scripted it, Chad.
Yeah, they're sensing it right now. They're going to put their foot down, and they're going to look to end this one quick.
Second serve.
Another good shot by Mike Stewart. Dave Weinbach out of Madison, Wisconsin. Toulson there on the left, red shirt, near court. And another winner by Stewart. Dave Weinbach, been a fixture at tournaments now over the years. Who has he not partnered with? He has been such a great pioneer in this game. So many great battles he's been in. Oh, a little bit wide on the Ernie. And Melissa, yesterday, of course, we hate weather delays, but it was pretty cool to soak in 2019 again with right Matt Wright, that is, and Weinbach taking on Kyle Yates and Ben Johns, a much younger Ben Johns.
Oh, yeah, that was a fantastic match that happened right here on championship court. Dave is a two-time U.S. Open men's doubles champion, winning the very first U.S. Open with Kyle Yates.
And the motion in that match, I mean, it was incredible just watching. I was here in 2018, missed that year, 2019, but man, energy was high.
It gets electric in here, Drew. It does.
And of course, that energy dialed back just a little bit this year with COVID protocol. Cannot quite fit as many people in this great venue as in years past, but in years to come, that certainly will change.
Yeah, and they've expanded the VIP section here to allow people to be spread out more. They still anticipate some electricity. We really call this the Super Bowl of pickleball.
It is.
Point.
Not just a sporting event, too. It is a party.
It is, with the famous flag ceremony that kicks it off. I think that Australian flag flies, Chad.
It does. It does. With Morgan Evans and myself have been flag bearers the last couple of years.
I will say, guys, too, yesterday a first for me. I'm excited to announce. First time in 22 years of being in this great TV business where I had a sip of a margarita while doing a show. Only here in Naples.
At the Margaritaville License to Chill Lounge in the booth.
It made its way over here to our television booth, courtesy of Terry Graham. There it is. What a great place to check out if you make it here. Great point.
Oh. And Dave almost anticipated that to get it back for a winner.
We're starting to see a few more third shot drives in this second game. And obviously the purpose of the third shot drive isn't to win the point. It's actually more so to get that easier ball to drop, because obviously it's easier to drop a ball from the middle of the court than it is deeper in the baseline. So predominantly that's what that third shot drive is used for.
1-4-2.
Oh, well done.
That's an unbelievable get from Toulson right there.
Second serve. Four, 1-2. Right out.
Dave's one to go straight up to that kitchen line and trust his hands. We saw Mills stuck in the transition area there a little bit, and they were keeping that ball down to his feet.
And Chad, you refer to it as a transition area, and so do I, but you know, we got so many people coming into the game from tennis, they call it no man's land. Why is transition zone more appropriate?
With pickleball, there's not so much a no man's land like there is in tennis. I would say for pickleball, the no man's land is maybe 2 feet inside the baseline. It's the area where you don't want to get stuck. You don't want to serve and take a step in because it makes it more difficult for you to hit that third shot drop. But we call it a transition area because it's okay to stop in that area. We want to stop in that area. We don't want to rush through it. Obviously, if we stay there and we don't continue moving through it up to the kitchen, then it becomes more of a no man's land because we're allowing our opponents to get that ball down to our feet easier. But Like I talked about earlier, we may hit a third shot, a fifth shot, a ninth shot, a seventh shot, ninth shot, getting up there. Usually when we're moving forward, we want to keep moving till the point where our opponent's paddle starts moving forward to the ball. Once that starts moving forward, we want to split step and stop. So at times that's going to be in that area between the baseline and the kitchen.
We just had a little bit of talk with the referee. I think, Drew, did you catch what was happening there?
Yeah, it looked like trying to just decide who is serving here.
Okay. All players must agree.
Second serve. Second serve.
And there's where the confusion is. Right now, it's Weinbach and Miller saying, hey, it's side out.
1-1.
Our players on the court this time get it right.
Ooh, Dave read that really well.
And also, we'll say, guys, officiating is tough business.
It is. It definitely is, especially when you're officiating those pro events.
And we have 81 officials that are here at the U.S. Open this particular week. Lots of certified referees and others that are seeking their certification, putting in a lot of hours, hard work, dedication, and commitment to bringing the very best and improving the quality of the game.
Weinbach just teeing off up there.
We've seen a couple of foot faults in last game and in this game too.
Yeah, it looked like Mike's toe just slid forward onto the kitchen line when he was trying to reach for that his fourth shot.
Side out.
That shot going into the body of Dave, even those quick hands couldn't adjust to that. Was a nice shot.
Yeah, the most difficult difficult area to get that ball back is that paddle side hip to armpit.
Oh.
Second serve.
Just kind of hoping that ball would roll over for him.
Yeah. Hoping for a few breaks here against Weinbach and Miller. They've pretty much had their way so far.
Oh, well played.
I like it.
And that was certainly the best rally of the game that we've seen.
Yeah, absolutely. And you saw a couple of really good examples of basically turning defense into offense. You know, the offense switched on both sides right there, and
yeah.
Those are the unforced errors that that cost you.
7-2-1.
So, and also, Chad, I've noticed that Chris Miller and Dave Weinbach, they're stacking over here. Don't see that a lot in men's doubles. Why do you think we're seeing it here?
No, typically you don't see a lot of stacking in men's doubles, but typically with stacking, one player feels more comfortable on one side of the court, the other, rather than it being, especially men's doubles, rather than it being somebody's got a stronger forehand or a stronger backhand. It's more about which side of the court you feel comfortable on. Obviously, with mixed doubles, when you're when we see stacking a lot more, you're looking to inject the male into the point as much as possible. Not necessarily because they're better, but they hit the ball harder.
Yeah.
2-8-1. Miller out of Kent, Washington, lives in California right now.
Second serve.
Did that hit one of the players?
No, it actually caught the net.
Okay.
2-8-2.
Well, another miss hit by Mike Stewart.
That's that movement that we were talking about earlier with
8-2-1.
Dave. He is going to attempt that Ernie or move just to take your focus away.
Oh, did
hit
that,
the speakers.
Yeah, and that's a nice new speaker system here on the stadium court, Zing Zang Championship court.
2-1.
Hanging from the rafters.
Second serve.
Yeah, some balls have come close to grazing that throughout the week. And then that one actually did.
9-2-2. Side out. 2-9-1. Second serve. 2-9-2.
Oh, no.
Right out.
Did he hit his partner in the back?
He sure did.
He did. Dave had a little move early on in that point. Usually with that movement, you're trying to bait somebody into hitting the shot that you want. So Dave took a jump toward the center, wanting them to attack down the line.
Sneaky devil.
Uh-huh.
Second serve.
Coming right back, Mike Stewart. Second serve here for Weinbach and Miller.
9-2-2.
Oh, it's in.
Oh, he got it.
Right out.
And that wasn't an easy shot. He had to hit that with a backhand.
Yeah, that was an excellent round the post right there. Stewart waited. And that's the key to hitting that around the post, is waiting as long as you can, even if it's a couple of inches off the court, and let that get out past the post.
Second serve.
See Tolson right there, Mike Tolson out of Gilbert,
2-9-2.
Arizona. Spends his summers in Utah. So
Smart guy.
winners in Gilbert, summers in Utah. It's a pretty nice lifestyle.
I would say so.
Point.
Yeah, and Mike Stewart putting on some display here in these last couple of points.
Yeah, that was a very good combination right there. And we saw it in one of the earlier matches where I think it was with Scott Fleeger when he sped the ball up and didn't anticipate it to come back. Stewart used it as a 1-2 punch combination. You speed a ball up, expect it to come back, and ready to jump on it again.
Side out.
Another winner by Miller. Side out now to Weinbach. And Miller been stuck on 9 for quite a while here.
9-3-1.
Yeah, they have. Let's see if they can change that now.
Second
Not if
serve.
Mike Toulson has anything to say about it. They're going to keep battling back.
9-3-2.
Oh.
Point.
So now that brings us to match point.
3-2.
And there it is.
Game match.
11-1, 11-3. Weinbach and Miller moving on.
So here you're seeing that last point again. Miller looking really relaxed out there too. And then going for the winner, just went up too high. Chris Miller finishes it off.
Keep an eye on this pair, Weinbach and Miller, as we move on in men's senior pro. We're back to Naples right after this. The 2021 Minto U.S. Open Pickleball Championships, powered by Margaritaville, is sponsored by Minto. Latitude, Margaritaville, and Minto. Change your latitude to the active adult paradise of Latitude Margaritaville. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades, Florida's Paradise Coast. By Margaritaville Hotels and Resorts. Check in and chill out at MargaritavilleResorts.com. And Pickleball Central, the Pickleball Superstore.
No matter how you stay active, you don't want a leg cramp to mess up your day. Highlands Leg Cramps has been America's #1 leg cramp relief solution for over 10 years. The flavorless tablets dissolve quickly under your tongue. No water needed, no stomach upset. So you can keep going. No matter what you're doing, don't let a leg cramp slow you down. Highlands Leg Cramps. Available at your favorite retailer. Stop your cramp, not your day. Claims based on traditional homeopathic practice, not accepted medical evidence, not FDA evaluated.
Match point. It's all up to me. Nothing can get in my way. And when they ask, what are you gonna do next? I'll say, I'm going.
We're going to Margaritaville!
You can go to Margaritaville too. Visit MargaritavilleResorts.com.
It's time to celebrate a return to all things incredible. The competition you can only find at the Minto U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. The blue skies and white sand beaches that restore your soul. The luxurious surroundings and award-winning restaurants that rejuvenate your spirit. So join us for world-class pickleball action and stay for everything else. When it's time for championship pickleball where everyone wins, only paradise will do. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades.
When I step onto the court, I get a burst of adrenaline. That adrenaline makes me focus, and that focus helps me win.
I love looking out and seeing my teammates standing there, supporting me, cheering me on.
People always ask me, what do you want out of a pickleball brand? For me, it's simple. Performance products and support.
Performance is a head game.
Hi, welcome to Pickleball 411. I'm Rusty, and this show from Pickleball Channel is all about providing helpful information about the sport of pickleball. This week, we're excited to give you some helpful tips on how to improve your volleying. So, let's learn and play.
Pickleball 411 is powered by Highlands Leg Cramps, proud supporter of pickleball players everywhere.
The volley is an extremely important part of the game of pickleball, and it's kind of a tricky one to master. So this week, we're excited to have one of the top players in the country, Scott Moore, and he's going to break down a few key ways that you can improve your volleying.
Hi, I'm Scott Moore, and we're here at the Cheyenne Mountain Resort in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Today, we're going to talk about 3 common mistakes people make when they're volleying. A volley is when you hit the ball out of the air without letting it bounce first. Most commonly, we volley when we're at the kitchen line, close to the net, and we're pushing through the ball with kind of a half swing or push through the ball. As I mentioned, there are 3 common mistakes that people tend to make when they're volleying. The first is to hit it too hard when the ball comes to you low. When that happens, 3 things can occur. The first is that you hit the ball into the net. The second is that you hit it long. And the third is that you hit it right into your opponent's strike zone and prepare yourself to eat a pickleball. The second common mistake is to allow the ball to get too close to your body. If you allow the ball to get too close to your body, you lose the good angle of being able to hit down on it, and you also give your opponent more time to react. And the third mistake is to allow yourself to get pushed back off of the kitchen line and begin to retreat during a volley exchange, thereby giving your opponents better angles to hit at your feet and more time to react. But to prevent that from happening to you, you need to make sure you hold your ground and do not retreat when you're in a volley exchange. So just keep in mind those three things, and you definitely will improve your volley.
So that's your Pickleball 4-in-1 for today. Thank you so much to Scott for his great insights on volleying. We really do hope this has been helpful. Now there's only one thing left to do, and that's go play.
If there's something you think Pickleball 411 should cover, we'd love to hear from you. All you have to do is send us an email and tell us your idea. This episode of Pickleball 411 has been brought to you by Highlands Leg Cramps, America's #1 over-the-counter leg cramp medicine. For more information, go to highlands.com.
When most people hear the name Dick's Sporting Goods, they don't imagine leaders like us. But not too long ago, driven, persistent, visionary, powerful wouldn't have brought us to mind either. Together, we're updating the playbook. So it's up to us to design for you, invest in you, and be the change we want to see in sports. It's our job to get more women to the top of their game.
There we go.
Margaritaville. It's not just a state of mind. Now it's a place to live. Introducing Latitude Margaritaville. New homes in 55 and better communities where you can live the Margaritaville lifestyle every day. Find your new home at latitudemargaritaville.com.
The 2021 Minto U.S. Open Pickleball Championships, powered by Margaritaville, sponsored by Paddle Tech, the official paddle of the U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. By Head, official footwear of the U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. By Babolat, Babolat Pickleball. Join the rebellion. And by the U.S. Open, the U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. Save the date, April 23rd to April 30th of 2022. Welcome back to East Naples Community Park. Minto U.S. Open Pickleball Championships powered by Margaritaville. This was a look earlier in the day when we were again delayed by some weather, but play has resumed well into our coverage now. And we got another great senior men's pro doubles match on our hands right here.
Yeah, certainly looking forward to seeing this one. Steve Kennedy and Jaime
on Sins.
Point. Eric Kennedy and Bob White.
Yep, there is Jaime right there out of Brazil. Once a top 30 tennis star in the world. And then in the near side, you got Eric Kennedy in the black shirt, Bob White in the white cap and white shirt as well.
All right, Steve Kennedy serving now. And this really a second round match, Chad. I don't know if these two teams have ever played each other before. Probably not likely.
That I'm not too sure of, if I'm being honest with you. But I was about to say that much more patient match already, and then Eric Kennedy sped the ball up into Steve Kennedy. Oh, and there's another one.
Point.
So Eric, that's the second one. Eric Kennedy's hit it very well, making it look like he's about to dink, and that short, quick flick up into the body.
And of course, Chad, if it strikes you and heads out of bounds, it's still a point.
Still a point. Anytime it hits the body. One of the areas that's most difficult to get out of the way of is up into that sternum throat area. It's just difficult to maneuver yourself out of the way.
Side out.
That wasn't an easy shot by Steve Kennedy. He was dancing on that kitchen line.
Yep, dancing the tightrope. We saw that last night as well in the mixed split H. One thing Steve does amazingly is he creates the angle just by using the angle of the paddle. There's not a whole lot of overswing, and of course that keeps that ball down and low.
Low being the key.
Low is key.
Point.
Because when you try to attack a ball like Eric Kennedy did just there, and the ball's down low, it's very difficult to keep it in the court.
We got a quick timeout here.
Yeah, very surprised a timeout this early in the match with Kennedy and On Scenes leading 2-1. The 2021 Minto U.S. Open Pickleball Championships powered by Margaritaville is sponsored by Minto. Latitude, Margaritaville, and Minto. Change your latitude to the active adult paradise of Latitude Margaritaville. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades, Florida's Paradise Coast. By Margaritaville Hotels and Resorts. Check in and chill out at margaritavilleresorts.com. And Pickleball Central, the Pickleball Superstore. Welcome back here, Kennedy and On Scenes taking on Kennedy and Bob White. There's two Kennedys on the court. Steve Kennedy in the far court, Eric Kennedy in the near court. He is wowing the crowd this week in Naples, Steve Kennedy. And when I asked him about the run he went on yesterday, he said all credit to Catherine Parento. Very humble.
Yeah, and that's Steve, you know, for you. He's just that kind of guy. You know, he's constantly giving back to the game. He's an instructor to the game, and just a class act.
His health at times has been an issue in the past, Melissa, but right now he is as healthy as he's ever been.
Yeah, he has. I know he's dropped quite a few pounds, just trying to be healthier like a lot of us have, and it's made a difference for him on and off the court.
Second serve. 4-1-2. Side out.
And Eric Kennedy, meanwhile, Chad, my kind of pickleball player. Very different style the way he attacks.
Yeah, he's a much more aggressive
1-4-1.
player. I've known Eric Kennedy for a couple of years, played against him as well, and he's
Second serve.
definitely one to speed the ball up and look for body shots, and it can be exciting at times.
If you're playing against him, though, it's got to drive you crazy, knowing that you're always kind of a target, huh?
You've always got to stay on your toes. You've always got to be ready for that hard ball or get out of the way. Or
4-1-1.
so yeah, it's a little hectic.
Second serve.
We've seen a couple of around the post defenses in all of the matches today.
4-1-2. Point.
There's another sped up ball. Jamie was anticipating it. Stayed nice and compact.
Talked about his best tennis years, 1990 to 1992. Tough to get to.
Oh my goodness!
It's good
That's
effort
pretty
by Steve.
impressive that he got to that.
Yeah, very good effort by Steve Kennedy right there to get across the whole court.
Second serve. One by two.
Bob White to serve.
Side out. I'm sorry, I heard in and then I'm hearing out. Oh, side out, okay. Thank you. That's what I thought. It's out. Called it out. Side out. That was second serve. Side out.
So the discussion
Okay,
is
hold on.
over an out call. There was an
Correct.
original call in by
called
Bob
it.
White, and then
I'm sorry.
it was
You called-
overruled by
you
his
called it
partner,
out.
Eric Kennedy, to call it out. And of course now Steve Kennedy and Jaime Janssens are questioning that.
He called it. It is out. And we're on second serve. That's point.
The referee certainly keeping control of the match.
Yeah, she's trying to work her way back through it right there. Obviously, when
2-5-2.
there's a disagreement on the court, typically if there's a disagreement between partners, but I don't think Bob White actually called that ball good. So I think that's where some of the confusion came from.
Oh.
Point.
Sometimes moments like that, Melissa, can be real momentum changers, huh?
Yeah, they really can. It just depends on, and there wasn't a lot of emotion in that
3-5-2.
particular call, not a lot of conversation around it, so maybe not in this particular instance, but you know, certainly calls can make a huge difference
Side
and
out.
can swing momentum or bring momentum you didn't have your way.
Main thing, you just have to think, Chad, next point, next point, right?
Yeah, you've got to move on as fast as you can and flush it and get to the next point and go from there.
Kennedy and Kennedy exchanging dinks.
Who's going to pull the trigger first?
I'm going to bet Steve Kennedy.
Oh. And he seemed to be just a little bit of off balance there. Wasn't really sure if he was going to go back cross court or down the line. And being off balance, he then was only in the position to try to send it down the line, and it went wide.
Yeah, one thing that's changed over the last, a little bit of miscommunication there between hand signals. One of the things that's changed over the years is the depth of dinks. It used to be, a few years ago, the good dink was something that sat right in the middle of the kitchen. Now we're looking for something that's back closer to the kitchen line, with make some indecision of whether to take the ball out of the air or let it bounce. Jaime slipped on the court right there and tried to do the best that he could off the ground.
And all he can do is smile about that and get up and
7-3-2.
Let's go at this again. Oh.
Side out.
Looks like Steve maybe changed his mind. He was originally going to drop and then decided to drive. Caught it off the end of the paddle.
3-7-1.
Is there any relation in Steve and Eric?
No.
Great volleys here.
Oh my! That was definitely a high-powered transition between those two guys. Wow.
Yeah, that ball was moving all over the court. But what kept them in it there is as the ball kept moving from side to side, the movement of the players covering those high percentage areas down the line and through the middle.
I think altogether, Melissa, if you are Eric Kennedy and Bob White, you come here to Zing Zang Championship Court, you just want to play your best, right? Have your best showing with the cameras on.
Oh yeah, there's nothing like this arena here at Zing Zang Championship Court. A good feel. You know, there's not as many spectators as there are in the past, but it still is a very, very championship feel. And a special opportunity if you're a player playing in this particular tournament to get the opportunity to be here. Not everyone gets the chance to play on this championship court.
Different type of challenge to stay locked in. Don't let all the elements get into your head. Oh.
Wow. No. And what incredible defense that we just saw there.
Yeah, that's another Steve Kennedy dropped back away from the kitchen line, buying himself some time, and then it turned back into a transition similar to a third shot drop, brought it back up there. Jaime got a ball in tight to the body and attacked down the line into Eric Kennedy.
Time has been called by the
we have a
receiving team.
timeout?
7-4-1. Second time
7-4.
1 minute.
Steve Kennedy and Jaime on scenes, leading Eric Kennedy and Bob White here on Championship Court. The 2021 Minto U.S. Open Pickleball Championships, powered by Margaritaville, is sponsored by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's Sporting Goods. By Zing Zang. Zing Zang, America's favorite Bloody Mary mix. By Franklin and Franklin X40, the official ball of the U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. Skechers Arch Fit footwear featuring podiatrist certified arch support. And by Highlands leg cramps. Stop your cramp, not your game.
It's the biggest pickleball
party of the
underneath,
year right here on the
underneath the blue roof here. Zing Zang Championship Court. Take a look at the grandstands. Melissa, this is not an easy ticket to get, and we've seen so many fans that they can't get in. They're watching from outside the fence, trying to peek in throughout all of the banners. It is a tough ticket to be had here.
It is. It sells out as soon as they go on sale, and they go on sale many, many months in advance.
Point.
Of course, major sponsors also courtside.
There's no other environment like it in pickleball, Drew.
Oh, nicely done by Steve Kennedy.
When we talk about how special Championship Court is, they've added a lot of special features here at the U.S. Open this year. There's a new fan zone where people who weren't able to get in are able to watch this stream with food and adult beverages.
Second serve.
Yeah, really fun spots, of course, during our weather delays over the last few days.
9-4-2.
Lob miss, just deep. Predominantly seeing more third shot drives than we are in
10-4-2.
drops in this match.
Point game.
And there's our game one.
11-4.
Kennedy and on scenes 11-4. Good play by Eric Kennedy and Bob White. Got it going though a little bit late. And Kennedy and on scenes, most of the exciting rallies, Melissa, they would have the better of in that game.
Yeah, we did see some great exchanges. Look forward to game two.
And it is right around the corner here at the U.S. Open Pickleball Championships.
Go again until you strike just right, until the ball sings, until the other guy blinks, until the court's clear and the sun sets, until you see it in your sleep and wake up swinging. Go again. Till you can't miss. Until you can't lose. Go again. And again.
This is what it feels like wearing regular shoes. No all-around support. And this is what it's like wearing Skechers Arch Fit footwear, designed to take great care of everybody's feet. Skechers teamed up with podiatrists using over 20 years of data to create a shoe that provides total foot and arch support for all-day comfort. It's all the comfort and support you need.
We're almost done here, Brooke.
It's good to have support. Try Skechers Arch Fit footwear with podiatrist certified arch support.
Hey, I'm Ben Johns, and I'm here to tell you why the pros prefer the Franklin X40 Pickleball. I really like the durability. It's pretty rare that I crack one of these. I really like the balance in the ball. I really love this ball because of the color. The visibility at any time during the day is always extremely easy to see. So I think it's not just for the players, it's also a great spectator ball.
Well, look at the stats after game one. Chad, what stands out to you?
Again, it's the unforced errors. It's going to be the tail of the tape across the board. You just can't afford to make those mistakes, especially at a level like this.
Game two underway.
Side out.
Had some great points in that first game. Steve Kennedy was the star of the show yesterday here in Naples. Performance to remember for a long, long time.
Oh, wow.
Hand speed.
And you look at the smile on his face. He felt really good about that one. Look at that.
1-0-1.
Doesn't take a big swing to generate a lot of power if your opponent's generating it for you. So we talked about getting low in the last match with Toulson with his height. Jaime is probably, I would say, around the same height as he was, but you notice that Jaime stays a lot lower. He's a more athletic position. He's moving out there. He takes the ball earlier. He's on top of that.
He did a great job in that particular point, moving the ball around, doing what he needed to do to get people out of position to get a ball he could put away.
Oh.
Second serve.
This is incredible. Melissa, I know 2018, the last time we were here together, and Chad, we also had our encounter back then, but just in returning to the game this year, the level that is played at now, just in the last 3 years, so much faster, so much more of a physical game, just really, really incredible.
Yeah, it really has been. I mean, you know, I'm an old timer now, Drew, so I've been around a long time. As you know, seven years ago, a big tournament was on 8 courts with a couple of hundred players. You know, the top 2 players in the game were in their late 60s. So you fast forward 7 years later, and we have professionals playing pickleball, many that have transitioned from tennis.
Yeah, the introduction of more tennis players to the game, but also the technology that's behind the paddles now. It allows you to do a lot more with the ball. You've got a lot more feel.
Point.
But players are pushing the limits. They're seeing what they can do. They're adding more wrist, adding more spin. What we teach today isn't what we taught 3 years ago, 2 years ago.
Timeout on the court. We'll step aside, come back in a moment. The 2021 Minto US Open Pickleball Championships, powered by Margaritaville, is sponsored by Minto. Latitude, Margaritaville, and Minto. Change your latitude to the active adult paradise of Latitude Margaritaville. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades, Florida's Paradise Coast. By Margaritaville Hotels and Resorts. Check in and chill out at margaritavilleresorts.com. And Pickleball Central, the Pickleball Superstore.
Serving team, you have 2 timeouts remaining in
A
this
look at
game.
the Margaritaville License to Chill courtside here at the Open in Naples. And a look at Bob White out of Arcadia, Florida. Whenever he told me Arcadia, he asked me immediately, I bet you don't know where Arcadia is.
And you said?
I said, you're right. No, it is kind of in no man's land in the state of Florida, but you know, it's a little bit inland, just south of that Sarasota area.
Oh, okay. Well, and you're the Tampa area, so
Yeah.
I guess that's why you might know.
Very small town. We were talking though about the technology, Chad. Morgan Evans yesterday kept emphasizing to me, Drew, it's the archer. It's not the arrow. It's the archer behind it.
Well, I guarantee you pick up a paddle that's 5 years old and hit a ball compared to the paddles today, and you'll feel the difference. The paddles were a lot stiffer. A lot more unresponsive.
Yeah, I'm surprised he took himself out of that dink rally so soon.
Yeah, and Eric Kennedy was, we've seen that a few times now, where running around the backhand to hit that forehand cross-court dink. It's baiting you to try to attack that hole in the middle that's not really there. With the higher level play, you'll see a hole. You'll see a hole, but you see a hole because they want you to see a hole.
6-1-1.
We'll see it again. He's going to sit out there. He's also has the potential to set himself up to speed a ball down the line, but Jamie's jumped at those last two balls that he missed into the net, trying to go down the line. Just needed to wait a fraction longer.
And you can see right there, Eric Kennedy, if he can get back into that pattern, he's going to want to continue because he's seen success with it twice now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Side out. One, 6-1.
Eric Kennedy now serving. Oh, trying to push it over at that time. Eric Kennedy, when you ask him about where he's from, he immediately says Rochester, New York, 5'8" pickleball. Scott Lipitz, that's all you need to know.
Yes, they're very proud in the 5'8". You know, Mr. Lipitz, many of us have not met him in person, but he certainly represents, like, he's physically present right out of the 5'8". Everywhere that he goes, you know, people that have the ability to do that, even though they're remote, they have the ability to physically feel presence. That's Scott Lipitz for you.
He's kind of like that Obi-Wan Kenobi, right?
Yeah,
Pickleball.
There you go.
Mythical figure.
Or pot stirrer. I hope you heard that, Scott.
Tons of influence. Oh, it's in.
Yeah, and he just got a little net help there that kept it from going long.
Yeah, he missed the one previously that he tried to speed up from there, but he's definitely trying to set a pattern right here. Like you said, he found a little bit of success with hitting that inside-out forehand cross-court. Yeah, setting himself up early already.
Yeah. Wow. And did it hit Steve?
I believe it did.
It did hit Steve. I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of Eric Kennedy, really. He took a real drive to be able to get himself into the kitchen, to try to get himself back into that pattern. He's showing patience and some real smarts right now.
He is. He's slowed the pace of his game down a little bit here, but I think Monsoons and Kennedy need to change it up a little bit as well.
Side out.
They need to go after Bob White a little bit, pull him out, especially if Eric Kennedy's going to stay out on the other side. They'll open the middle a little bit more.
Yep. Oh.
Point.
And that's just an unforced error they did not need right now, as they'd been battling back at 4-6. Now it's 4-7.
7-4-1.
Oh.
Point.
And maybe he's just feeling a little bit of pressure right now.
Yeah, he had that good run with a couple of points, but if you start pressing, then we'll catch a little bit of trouble.
Second serve. 8-4-2.
Right down the middle.
Nice put away. So we're going to get a side out here. It'll be interesting to see if they can stay loose.
4-8-1.
Don't panic just yet. They're still in this one. Yeah.
Oh.
And Chad, you mentioned it earlier, the first one to speed up a ball sometimes, and there was really no need to do that.
No, and especially speeding it up cross court. When you think about speeding up a ball, the person in front of you is going to have less reaction time. A lot of times when you speed a ball up cross court, the person that pays for it is your partner, and they're not expecting you to speed that ball up either.
Oh, and that was well read.
Yeah, to have that successful Ernie, you've got to be looking for when the player's head drops. Once their eyes drop, their head drops, then you can no longer tell where you are. That's when you're going.
5-8-2.
Nice run here by Eric Kennedy and Bob White. They've been playing from behind pretty much this entire match. Oh, error that time by Kennedy.
Yeah, and their patience has really allowed them to just chip away, trying to get back into this game. It's been real impressive to watch.
Yeah, they're moving the ball around really well right now. One thing, those balls that Eric Kennedy's hitting, the inside out forehands, the spin that's put on it is taking it away from you, so it does become quite difficult to change direction on it or even get out of it.
8-6-1.
Another miss.
Yeah, and we've seen a couple of misses by Steve that we certainly have not seen, as we've been talking about. He's just been on fire.
So an opportunity here for Eric Kennedy and Bob White. A couple uncharacteristic mistakes, Melissa, and just like that, you are right back in it.
Right back in it. Just 2 points separating these teams in this particular game.
Yeah, we're seeing a difference of unforced errors for Kennedy and Onsins in this second game compared to the first one. They've already got 9 unforced errors in this second game compared to 2 for the whole of the first game.
6-8-2. Let, I'll recall the score. Six, 8-2.
Oh.
Side out.
He did such a great job getting there.
Excellent angle created by Steve Kennedy.
8-6-1.
Oh.
Yeah, and so that's where Steve might have been expecting Eric Kennedy to get back in pattern with Jaime Onsing across the court, and he completely surprised him and went down the line.
Yeah, and that's where setting yourself up the way that Eric is. Yes, you're giving yourself a little bit more of the middle and opening yourself up there where Bob White comes across and tries to cover that hole, but you're able to do multiple things there. Either go back at Jaime or speed a ball up down the line like you did on Steve.
9-6-2. Time has been called by the receiving team.
And timeout on the court. Eric Kennedy, Bob White.
9-6-2.
Will try and slow this game down. They've done a good job of that. Is it enough here in Naples? The 2021 Minto U.S. Open Pickleball Championships, powered by Margaritaville, is sponsored by Gamma. Gamma Pickleball, the official grip of the U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. DecoTurf. DecoTurf, the official pickleball court surface of the U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. By I Love Pickles. ILovePickles.org, a place to celebrate all things pickled. And by Franklin, the official bag of the U.S. Open Pickleball Championships.
they might not need to.
Welcome back to Naples. See courtside here and Zing Zang Championship Court as Jaime Onsines gets set to serve 9-6 over Eric Kennedy and Bob White.
Serving team, you still have 2 timeouts remaining. Time in.
And he is serving to Bob White. Oh, that was a great shot. So the timeout was effective there.
It was.
Oftentimes people will take a timeout, especially if you get to a 9-point here, not just to let the other team get some momentum.
You'll know, Chad, that a lot of times just one player's in particular style could just totally throw you off. And I think the way Eric Kennedy plays has totally kept these guys off balance.
It has thrown them off a little bit. And we were talking in the timeout there. The way that they're moving the ball around and covering the court.
Look at that.
They're creating the uncertainty for Jaime Onsines and Steve Kennedy.
Oh, no. That was a big point.
Yeah, it was a big one. So it's a second serve. It's going to be 8-9-2.
8-9-2.
Eric Kennedy serving to Steve Kennedy. I know Steve Kennedy would like to have that one back. It was just right up there in what would typically be his wheelhouse, and we got a tie game just like that.
Yeah, I think Steve Kennedy just got a little excited on that one. Paddle was up above the ball.
Oh, how about this?
Wow. That was quite the exchange there. And what I've been so impressed about that is Kennedy's getting more aggressive. Bob White has done a great job staying in the point and being ready, not knowing exactly when the ball might be coming to him.
Yeah, he's doing an excellent job filling the holes there. But
10-9-2.
got to switch some stuff up. They're staying.
Yes, you're the correct
Steve
server.
Kennedy and Jaime Onsines, they're just staying in the same pattern for the most part.
But if they can steal this game, guys, come from behind here, going to be really interesting.
Oh. Side out.
Oh.
Saw some eye candy there from Eric Kennedy.
That 11th point can be really hard to get.
Hardest one to get.
Oh.
Second serve. 9-10-2.
Oh, and look at that. That was a nice hold. Kind of on the edge of my seat.
Eric Kennedy and Bob White have come here with a plan, and right now that plan is working.
Yeah.
Oh, just got behind him and he couldn't recover.
I think that's the approach that Kennedy and Onsines are going to have to take. Rather than just staying in that cross-court dink, they might need to start being a little bit more aggressive, trying to get that ball to Eric Kennedy's backhand, especially with him being out that far. If they just stay in that cross-court dink and allow him to run around that backhand, run around that backhand, run around that backhand, he's going to continue to cause some uncertainty for them. Missed it.
And there it is. They take game 2.
Eric Kennedy and Bob White all of a sudden right in the thick of this. Come back after conceding game 1, 11-4, win game 2, 11-9. Melissa, how did this happen?
Yeah, they got into a pattern that they saw that would work for them, and they just stayed consistent with that. And then when they got in that pattern, the other team got comfortable with it. They changed the pattern and got more aggressive. That was the change.
So we've split the first 2, headed to a deciding game 3. Eric Kennedy will take a break. We will too.
When most people hear the name Dick's Sporting Goods, they don't imagine leaders like us. But not too long ago, driven, persistent, visionary, powerful wouldn't have brought us to mind either. Together, we're updating the playbook. So it's up to us to design for you, invest in you, and be the change we want to see in sports. It's our job to get more women to the top of their game.
There we go.
The next one.
Welcome back to Zig Zang Championship Court. Eric Kennedy and Bob White take a look at the numbers after game 2. Pretty even across the board.
Yep, they even themselves out.
And we are underway. Best match of the day thus far here on Zig Zang Championship Court. Ooh.
Point.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit of it all. That was an exciting game too. I was telling Chad as we went into the break, I was just really excited to see that when we saw people go in with a strategy, execute that strategy, and when it stopped working, they quickly developed another one, got more aggressive, and it was just fantastic to watch.
1 minute.
Yeah, I'd love to see, Melissa, adjustments made throughout a match. And, it's really cool for pickleball fans to watch players adjust as we go throughout. Had a chance to see that on singles Sunday in that Tyson McGuffin-Ben Johns match where McGuffin had everything going his way, momentum on his side. Ben Johns comes roaring back. Drew Felios, Melissa McCurry, and Chad Edwards here. Great to have you with us next to Zig Zang Championship Court. Just so many great moments, great matches. It's not just how you start, it's the adjustments you make throughout a match.
Yeah, and like I said, that's what we were just seeing in this match. It'll be interesting to see now what Steve Kennedy and Jamie Janssens do to put their own strategy against these guys being just so smart on the court.
Yeah, they've definitely got to change things around. I think we spoke about it earlier toward later toward the end of game 2. They need to go more at Eric Kennedy's backhand.
So we'll see if they've recognized that themselves as well and made those adjustments. Guess we're about to find out.
Steve Kennedy has been a big shot maker over the last few days. Several.
It was in. Side out.
Several upsets throughout the week. Of course, day one, Tereshchenko over Jargin, women's singles. That's a big one yesterday.
0-2-1.
Tereshchenko and Moore going down. As Farias and Welsher able to pull that one off.
Second serve.
Yeah, it's been the tournament upset so far, which really builds the hype as we're still, going
0-2-2.
into the rest of the weekend, going into the pro event starting on Friday and Saturday. That was great anticipation too by Steve Kennedy.
Yeah, I was watching Steve in the middle of that point, and every time Eric Kennedy ran around that backhand, he took a couple of steps back from the kitchen line, anticipating that attack down the line.
Point.
We saw some real athleticism by Jaime there.
Jaime with the wardrobe change as he gets ready to serve here.
Yeah, it is humid out there.
Just wide.
Second serve. 3-0-2.
That's not a bad approach right there from Steve Kennedy to throw the love up. He may try and attempt that again.
Oh.
Almost a miscue.
Oh.
And that one there just who was going to blink first.
Chad, you are the dink master when he gets like that. I mean,
You obviously haven't seen me play. I'm not very patient with dinking. I'm more the aggressor. But they definitely moved the ball around a lot better there. It was just Steve Kennedy tried to go for a little too much and pushed it out wide.
Oh, nicely done. Eric Kennedy is dealing right now.
Oh. And Eric Kennedy trying to get the crowd into that one a little bit. That's just, I don't know. Some people say that happens when you're living right, Chad.
I guess so. You do see it a lot more, definitely a lot more in pickleball with those net rolls. One being close to the net, but two, we're generating a lot of spin.
Got a nice shout out there from the 585 Pickleball Club that we've been talking about. Eric Kennedy representing them. And guys, thanks so much for watching. And not just a great place here to watch this, but watch it all over the world. And Melissa, there are watch parties even in your hometown back in Hilton Head going on. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's there's a Margaritaville in Hilton Head. There is a watch party scheduled for Saturday night. That in my hometown, as you said, and my parents will be there watching. just one of thousands of watch parties that'll be going on as we take the U.S. Open Pickleball Championships live on CBS Network for the first time in pickleball history.
It's going to be awesome.
Side out.
On scenes with the point.
Eric Kennedy read that really well. Was sitting on his forehand. I think he got just a
3,
little
2, 1.
excited, took the paddle back too far.
Second serve.
And of course, Friday and Saturday, this will go next level as far as intensity and
3, 2, 2.
fan engagement, and it'll blow the roof off this place.
Yes, it will. I just really can't wait.
Point.
Like a little girl at Christmas, you know?
Now Steve Kennedy to serve.
4, 3, 2. A breath error. 4, 2, 2.
Oh,
Point.
Eric Kennedy wanted that one.
yeah, he'd set himself up so perfectly. It was there for the taking.
5, 2, 2. Point. Gentlemen, the score is 6-2. Switch ends at this time. You
6-2.
have 1 minute.
And a switch here coming up.
Yeah, so we are in the third game. So when we get to 2 out of 3, we do switch tides at 6.
The 2021 Minto U.S. Open Pickleball Championships, powered by Margaritaville, sponsored by Paddle Tech, the official paddle of the U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. By
We'd like to thank our Powered by sponsor,
official footwear of the U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. By Babolat, Babolat Pickleball, join the rebellion. And by the U.S. Open, the U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. Save the date, April 23rd to April 30th of 2022.
Still playing their full format.
Been a heck of a week here on Pickleball
6-2-2.
Channel. U.S. Open Pickleball Championships continue. Steve Kennedy, Jaime on scenes. 6-2 lead.
Point.
On Sands and Kennedy have started to isolate Bob White a little bit more,
7-2-2.
taking Eric Kennedy out of the picture, and he's gotten a little antsy the last couple of points.
Oh.
Side out. Two, 7-1. Second serve.
Steve Kennedy did a little of his own inside-out forehand there and set himself up for the winner down the line.
2-7-2. Point.
They've done a good job, though, Eric and Bob. You have a player like Steve who's just playing lights out, Chad. Like in baseball, you can't just throw that player fastballs. They're going to knock it out of the park. You got to change it up. They've done a good job of that.
They've done an excellent job of changing pace, changing angles.
3-7-2.
I think they need to get back to that right here.
Is there such thing in this great game, Chad, of just trying to dink somebody to death?
Yes. Yes.
4-7-2.
We used to say that a lot more, but definitely right now it's trying to keep that patience.
Sure.
Because all 4 of these guys are really good at counter-attacking.
5-7-2. Side out.
So Onsin's recognized the speed up coming from
7-5-1.
Eric Kennedy right there, and recognized how low it was as well. He got out of the way before the ball even came over the net.
Point.
Onsin's clenches the fist here, trying to build some momentum. Has not been their cleanest played match. Still a chance to close it. 8-5-1. Onsin's and Kennedy leading.
Just went long. What a well defended around the post shot.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. The way to defend against those around the post, you've got to actually come back on an angle away from the kitchen, straddle that sideline.
You have 1 timeout left. Your score is 5. They have 9. Timeout has been called by the receiving team.
And a timeout will be called. Eric and Bob want to try and slow down the momentum, because Steve Kennedy and Johnny Onsin's have once again found their touch here in game number 3. We'll be back in a moment. The 2021 Minto US Open Pickleball Championships, powered by Margaritaville, is sponsored by Minto. Latitude, Margaritaville, and Minto. Change your latitude to the active adult paradise of Latitude Margaritaville. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades, Florida's Paradise Coast. By Margaritaville Hotels and Resorts. Check in and chill out at margaritavilleresorts.com. And Pickleball Central, the Pickleball Superstore. All the courts here with that Deco turf cushioning surface, state-of-the-art surface, so you can play longer without feeling any fatigue in your joints. That's the case here on Zing Zang Championship Court. Top-notch facility here in Naples. Steve Kennedy and Johnny Onsin's trying to close this out. Second serve here.
Yeah, he lunged at that one again. Got a little excited. Read it.
9-5-2.
Once you get fully extended on those balls, you don't have anything left behind it other than your wrist.
Point.
So 10-5, match point here for Steve and Johnny.
10-5-2.
They need this one and they get it.
Side up.
Door still open, but it
5,
is
10, 1.
cracked open, closing quickly.
Yeah, well, that was a nice move. Not at a place where you can afford to see if that ball's going to sail out wide. You got to go for it, and Bob White did just that.
6-10-1.
Yeah, it was an excellent attack by Bob.
Second serve.
Oh. I know no time's good for an error, guys, but this point to have a ball stay on top of the net, just sit there, oh, it's got to be excruciating. Oh.
Side out.
Could be a costly couple of unforced errors right there.
10-6-1.
Now a couple match points. Still alive.
Second serve. Ten, 6-2.
Oh.
Point, game, match.
And there it is.
11-6, final game.
Steve Kennedy, Jamie on scenes finally get to 11. Was not easy though, by any means, Melissa.
No, it wasn't. This was an excellent match all the way around.
No, definitely a lot of credit to Kennedy and White right there. They played fantastic.
So Steve Kennedy, Jamie on scenes will advance. Long point. Eventually, one more error hit it into the net. And senior doubles continues. That plot keeps thickening here in Naples. Steve Kennedy, victorious again.
Go again until you strike just right. Until the ball sings. Until the other guy blinks. Until the court's clear and the sun sets. Until you see it in your sleep and wake up swinging. Go again. Until you can't miss. Until you can't lose. Go again and again.
This is what it feels like wearing regular shoes. No all-around support. And this is what it's like wearing Skechers Arch Fit footwear, designed to take great care of everybody's feet. Skechers teamed up with podiatrists using over 20 years of data to create a shoe that provides total foot and arch support for all-day comfort. It's all the comfort and support you need.
We're almost done here, Brooke.
It's good to have support. Try Skechers Arch Fit footwear with podiatrist-certified arch support.
Hey, I'm Ben Johns, and I'm here to tell you why the pros prefer the Franklin X40 Pickleball. I really like the durability. It's pretty rare that I crack one of these. I really like the balance in the ball. I really love this ball because of the color. The visibility at any time during the day is always extremely easy to see, so I think it's not just for the players, it's also a great spectator ball.
Welcome, everybody. This is Rusty from Pickleball Channel. We are at the Minto U.S. Open Pickleball Championships powered by Margaritaville. Everybody say hi to the internet.
It took about 30 days for the event to fill up in its inaugural year in 2016. From 30 days down to 3 hours. That shows you how popular this event has become.
The 2021 Minto U.S. Open Pickleball Championships, powered by Margaritaville, sponsored by Paddle Tech, the official paddle of the U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. By Head, official footwear of the U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. By Babolat, Pickleball, join the rebellion. And by the U.S. Open, the U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. Save the date, April 23rd to April 30th of 2022.
We're coming back to you. It's Rusty now from Pickleball Channel. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much, Drew, for bringing us through the day so far. Look at that beautiful sun coming across the water. And we're excited because weather has been changing, and we're looking forward to a beautiful day tomorrow. But tonight, we still bringing you some more action from the Zing Zang Championship Court. We've just been finishing up a great day of men's, and we're about to bring you another great match. We're still here in the booth with Melissa McCurley and Chad. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here. It's fantastic. And as you can see, we made it. There was some weather delays. We're here. You guys have been talking about some great stuff. What are you excited about so far?
No, we've seen some fantastic play so far this afternoon. There's been some What were we talking about before? I lost the word. It won't come out.
That's all right. It was so amazing that I got a little distracted. But the good news is
we went in with a game plan. That's what it was.
That was the game plan. We saw game plans. And now we're into this match here. Paul Olin just served to Scott Moore.
Second serve.
Talking about those game plans, what is so exciting is you have the game is the same, but the game plan
Zero,
vary, the strategy varies. So let's see what happens here.
Side out.
It's definitely going to come down to unforced errors like we're seeing across the board here.
0-0-1.
But we'll probably be looking for a lot of ball movement. There's going to be a lot. I shouldn't say a lot more dinking than what we saw in the previous one, because there was a lot, but definitely a lot more ball movement.
Yeah, and we've definitely seen these guys here before in different capacities, singles and another mix-up. So, you know, Woodskin and Moore definitely have some power behind them, as well as some height and wingspan.
Absolutely.
Tries to go around, but declares it out himself, actually.
Didn't quite get far enough around the post on that one, but I think we're going to start seeing that soon. Is the patience going to be tested to stay in these dinks, or is somebody going to pull the trigger?
Oh, Sperling goes across there. For those of you who are just joining us, we are almost to the end of this men's. Let's take a look at that point.
2-0-2.
Almost to the end of the men's bracket. They're going to hold the medal matches tomorrow, so this is the last match of the day.
Side out.
At least the last match of the day that we'll see here on center court. Certainly not the last match of the day that we're going to see around the park, as we have several still to go this evening.
That's right, Melissa. And there's 60 amazing courts here.
Point. One, 2-1.
Olin serving to Woodskin.
Point.
It's a slight misdirect by Paul Olin right there. Scott thought he was going out wide. Rick thought he was going down the line.
And you heard the crowd do a little bit of...
2-2-1.
Nice counter-attack.
And I really do expect this to be a really good match. All four of these players have a lot of good tournament experience, a lot of that experience on the big stage, such as we see here on Zing Zang Championship Court.
Point.
That's that hard one to fall into there. The speeding up of the ball cross court.
Side out. Two, 3-1. Second serve.
Excellent speed up by Paul, right into the hip of Rick Woodskin. Definitely one of the harder balls to
2-3-2.
control is that ball that's into the paddle side hip through the armpit.
Point.
Unforced error, missing the ball into the net.
Correct. 3-3-2. Point.
So we're moving back and forth here, and early in the game, it's kind of 2-2, 3-3. Got 1 point differential. For those of you who've been watching all along, this is Woodskin again. He's had a number of wardrobe changes, but
point.
They've been successful. Woodskin and Moore have been successful the last couple of points with being more aggressive. I think we may see them continue to put the pressure on Olin and Sperling here.
big overhead put away there.
Yeah, and set up that overhead set up by Scott Moore, you know, from his partner. Great move by Scott to recognize the opportunity that the opponent was off balance.
6-3-2. When you got two guys over 6 feet, it's hard to get a ball over that.
Side out.
Moore was taking the chance that Sperling was going to hit his paddle on that one. It's kind of a difficult ball to rush the kitchen on when it's
3-6-1
above the waist, kind of chest high.
Sperling about to serve.
Point.
More doing that muscle memory repetition, going over what happened.
Yeah, the ball got a little close to his body there. He got jammed.
Second serve.
Yeah, actually, one of our most popular videos, actually I think it's the most popular, is him talking about volleying up at the net and talking about the importance of not getting too close to the body.
Yeah, keeping the separation, keeping the elbows away from the body. Once the elbows get into your side or that paddle gets too close to the body, it does become very difficult to get that ball back and over the net. And that's how typical miss into the net.
Point.
So typically what we'll see, and that's another good example of a counterattack right there from Woodskin. A ball coming from down up, you're looking to attack. A ball coming from up down, you're looking to reset.
And here we are with the timeout. We're going to see what happens, how the game might play after. Back to you soon.
The 2021 Minto U.S. Open Pickleball Championships, powered by Margaritaville, is sponsored by Dick's. Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's Sporting Goods. By Zing Zang. Zing Zang, America's favorite Bloody Mary mix. By Franklin and Franklin X40, the official ball of the U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. Skechers. Skechers Arch Fit Footwear, featuring podiatrist certified arch support. And by Highlands. Highlands leg cramps. Stop your cramp, not your game.
And we're back, seeing things heat up a little bit. We got some power play, we got some
15
soft
seconds.
play, a lot of things happening here. We're excited to see after that timeout how much things shift. One of the things that we've talked about a little bit throughout the week is how decisive those timeouts can be.
Time in. 7-4-1. Second serve.
And then a lot of times with the timeout, trying to get a momentum swing, maybe talking with your partner, talking about what's working, what's not working.
7-4-2.
Pushing them back.
Point.
That's hard when those balls keep coming like that. I mean, how do you have to go back? Do you always go back, you guys?
It's more of a comfort feel. Usually if a ball's above the net, I'll take a couple of steps back, give myself as much time, and that's something that Simone and I have discussed over the years. It's okay to back away from the kitchen line, as long as you move back forward to the kitchen line.
Right.
9-4-2.
Woodskin serving, forward returns.
Side out.
And we're 9 points, 9-4. How do you keep?
4-9-1.
Let's just watch it. Depending on what happens, to keep from getting demoralized.
You just got to take it 1 point at a time. Stop making some balls.
Point.
Or get a lucky break like that.
Yep.
I think the wind is blowing.
No, the court's starting to get wet. I can feel some drops coming underneath here.
Yes, you can't see it on the screen, but with a little bit of mist and wind, it carries in here. And then when you mix that with the humidity in Florida, it's very easy for a surface to get a little slick. Even though it's breezy, it's not as much as it has been. And it does look like Sperling just kind of came over here, talked to us a little bit. So they're going to call it. And not call it, they're going to have a delay here. So one of the things that we might be able to do is hear a little bit from some of our fans in the audience. This is an amazing arena. Melissa, how many places like this have you seen around the world?
Oh, there's no place like the U.S. Open. It's a special feel here with the canopy. It gives it, I've always called it the Super Bowl of pickleball. It's an intimate environment. It gets very electric in here, and there's just no other place, Rusty, in pickleball like it.
Yeah, and you know, you've been around for a little while, and you've seen how things changed. And Chad, you've played at a lot of places as well. You know, you have in the off season, if you guys actually, the bleachers you're looking at in the off season, those are removed, and there's 2 more courts. So this championship court turns into actually 5 courts. But all of these DecoTurf, I mean, how often are you seeing a county or city put in so much and so high quality?
It's rare for a county or a community to invest this much. What we're seeing more now is the private communities, the gated communities. A lot of the newer developments are starting to put in a minimum of 4 courts. Most are putting in 8 courts. And they're dropping the number of tennis courts down and adding more pickleball courts. So it's definitely, it's like Melissa said, there's nothing like East Naples Community Park anywhere else. To have that access as a public park to 64 pickleball courts.
Joe Citizen comes in here, and you know the community is just committed so much to their visitors, to their residents. It boggles my mind. I live in Los Angeles, which of course is massive LA County.
Yeah.
And I have 3 temporary line courts on we have almost 400,000 people in my community, and I don't have any permanent courts at all.
Yeah.
So when people, just to be so close to so much, and you guys have been here in the off season, people think, oh, it's only the U.S. Open. How busy is this place?
No, it's still the same. So, our community, our academy used to be based down here at East Naples Community Park, and we actually moved away from here because there were too many people. When you're trying to teach and you're trying to do clinics and you got 300, 400 people around and everybody's coming to talk to you, it's like it's a difficult place to try to do it. So we moved to a smaller facility. But even during the summertime here, there's a couple of hundred people down here every single morning that are playing.
Yeah, the
during
humidity,
season,
the weather, everything.
Yeah, it's just it's shortened. People will play from 8 till 10. during season. People play from 8 till 12 and then 6 to 9. It's always busy down here.
Yes, season, wintertime for everybody else. And now we actually are a little bit excited because Drew Felius, he's hanging around and he's talking to some special people that we're going to share with you now.
That's right, guys. I'm here with Chuck Wittmeyer, all the way from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You know, so many great sponsors here at the U.S. Open. He represents Gamma Pickleball. Such a thrill for you to be here with us and tell us about what your product has done for the sport here over the past 5 years.
Well, we think we try to bring a little innovation to the game. We've come up with a lot of new paddles, come up with some great products, and we're just in it for the long haul. We really want to see the game grow, so we're doing everything we can to help that happen.
Such a competitive business as well. You guys a mainstay in tennis for so long, but you made that transition into pickleball. What have you learned over the past 5-6 years?
Well, we learned a lot. We came in and thinking we could just innovate and come out with new stuff and add tennis technology to the product, but then we realized, you know, there's some things that players really like, and we have to go in that route. And one of them was the polyester core. We found a lot of players like that, and they like texture, and they like to get spin and all those things. So we incorporated it all into our products, and especially the pickleball paddles, obviously.
This tournament is so amazing. This event's so amazing. Been a little bit dampened by weather over the past few days, but tell us about your experience here in Naples.
Well, this is our 5th year. We were one of the first sponsors to jump on board with Terry and Chris, and it's been great for our business. We've done a lot of business down here. A lot of people have seen and come through here and found out what Gamma really is. They've known us as a tennis company, but now they realize we're deep into pickleball, and we're going to continue to do that. We have a lot of new things we're working on and hopefully can bring out in the end of this year in 2022.
And Chuck, a family-owned business too, as you said. It's got to be so cool working with your family. This really is all about pride, isn't it?
Well, I've been with the company 33 years. It's not my business, but it's the owner has passed it on to his son. I've been there long enough that I taught him tennis when he was 10 years old, so I know the family very well. It's been great. They treat you very well, especially you've been there that long. You're a loyal employee. They're a loyal employer, but it's been an awesome ride.
All right, Chuck Wittmeyer, Gamma Pickleball, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, here on Zing Zang Championship Court. Guys, I know the water is starting to accumulate just a little bit here. Some of the sponsors have kind of made their way for cover as we have a slight delay here, hopefully, here on Minto Championship Court. Guys, Rusty, let's send it back to you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break and going to give you an update in terms of what's going on. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Talk to you in a moment.
When most people hear the name Dick's Sporting Goods, they don't imagine leaders like us. But not too long ago, driven, persistent, visionary, powerful wouldn't have brought us to mind either. Together, we're updating the playbook. So it's up to us to design for you, invest in you, and be the change we want to see in sports. It's our job to get more women to the top of their game.
There we go.
Margaritaville. It's not just a state of mind. Now it's a place to live. Introducing Latitude Margaritaville. New homes in 55 and better communities where you can live the Margaritaville lifestyle every day. Find your new home at latitudemargaritaville.com.
And what a week it has been. We're excited. Streaming this week, right? Today and tomorrow, we are going to have the Women's Senior Pro. Some of the other men's matches are going to be finishing, but here on Championship Court, we got that. Then Friday, Mixed Senior Pro, and we're excited for a super big day. Live on CBS Sports Network Saturday for the first time, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to be covering the men's and women's gold medal matches. We just want to say thank you for everyone. We're going to be wrapping up our day. Unfortunately, the rain delay is going to extend things past our opportunity to cover it. But we have been excited to bring you so much stuff this week. We're going to bring you even more. And what a day it has been. A little bit worried that we wouldn't have anything, but we saw some head-to-head matches coming here. Power plays, people diving, people going a comeback. How about that Eric Kennedy earlier today? Once again, Scott Moore. Senior Pro isn't what you typically think it is. So thank you everybody for watching. We're going to bring you more action tomorrow. For Rusty Howes at Pickleball Channel, and for everyone here at the Minto US Open Pickleball Championships, have a great night.